What's up, people? It's me, a Jackie, and I don't know what's going on today. I don't know what's going on today, but I'm joined by some people, and I've got to let them talk. What's up, faggots?
Hello.
I'm joined by Shadow, and Tuke, who will be in and out today because, well, Tuke's making a cheesecake. Cheesecake. And you might be wondering, who is this weird VTuber model that Jackie's using? Well, it's a temporary model because I haven't finished updating the old one. I'm working on it. I swear, I promise.
It looks
And
okay.
the entrance music of today was called In the Land of Twilight Under the Moon, which is from the .hack sign ODST, the original soundtrack, because it had some banger music. So, what's up, people?
You talking to me? Or chat?
I'm talking to everybody, you motherfucker. Anyways, I know, I know, I know. This is a gaming podcast, and we rarely ever make it to talking about games. Except for today. We're going to be talking about games. For the first time in a while, we're
Hey.
going to be talking about games.
Hey. Which game in particular? Because all I've been playing is Warframe, and that's about it.
You're talking over the video, motherfucker.
Oh, can't see the video.
That's right. My evil overlords at Bandai Namco have announced Gundam Assemble. That's right. A miniature game in the Gundam universe, an official one. Not to be confused with the unofficial one that actually uses Gunpla models. This one actually uses smaller models. And is apparently compatible with the Gundam card game, which also just released. Which is cool.
Is this going to compete with Warhammer?
Well, it is in the miniature space, so technically yes.
Because we
But again,
need more companies to get into that sort of market, because the reason Games Workshop is as atrocious as they are is they have very little actual competition. They need more
well,
people moving in to kind
well,
of shake them up.
that's kind of the thing, right? Like when it comes down to it, Games Workshop, one of the biggest things they do is they don't have a lot of competition anymore. Their biggest competitor was BattleTech, and BattleTech has, for all intents and purposes, BattleTech's been dead since 2003. I'll be honest
I
with you.
never heard of it until very recently.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
odd because my username is the name of a mech, and it wasn't the reason I chose that name, it was pure coincidence.
let's go. But so far, all I know about it is they have teased a few models. They've showed a little bit of the gameplay. It will be a hex-based board, much like those of us who grew up enjoying BattleTech. Though I'm sure some nerd will convert it to, tape measures because that's just how things go, right? Right. La 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 la. But also, hi. So far, there's only been 8 models that have been teased, as far as I'm aware. It will drop 7/12, so it's not out yet. But the ones that have been teased are the STO1, STO are just different models from different eras of Gundam, which I think is cool. Um, Apparently, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be an automatic fail when it comes out because a lot of people seem to think that this is not going to work out real well. That it that it can't compete against Warhammer because Gunpla hobbyists don't like war games. I hate to tell these people this, but there's a lot of crossover for Gunpla hobbyists and wargaming.
Well, I'm just glad there's more companies getting into like tabletop miniature stuff because it's been dominated by Games Workshop for the longest time. And
Not
they're already on the decline in terms of popularity. Like, I'd say the majority of people, especially Warhammer fans, hate Games Workshop. So if more companies get into this, I think this is the best time to do it.
maybe. I'm not 100% sure on this, actually. Actually. But I am just proud that there is actual tabletop stuff coming out. I'm just hoping that, well, Bandai doesn't do what they usually do and abandon it in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I know Bandai. You have a hard time competing because, well, you're Bandai. But as far as we know, there will be a total of 4 decks for the card game coming out, and there will be 4 starter packs for the miniature game. I think the cards are. People are telling me that there will be cards with the model packs, which would be pretty fucking cool. But the launch price for the cards are going to be like, or for the decks are supposed to be like $12 USD. So we're looking at probably about $15 for a starter pack or a starter deck. And the model kits, the ones with models look like they're going to launch for around 35 USD. So you're looking at 37 to 40, which makes it cheaper than Warhammer 40K, funnily enough.
Well, the prices are very inflated.
Well, yes, but you have to play. You have to play. You have to pay the the Warhammer tax to play Warhammer.
I remember, I think it was Sargon was saying, he remembers back when they went from metal models to the resin plastic, and they said, oh, it's going to be cheaper to make, so the models will cost less, and they actually doubled in price.
Mm-hmm. I actually have some old lead models somewhere. Yes, I have been. I have some old lead models from what before I was born for a certain tabletop game. I also have a metal BattleTech model somewhere. It's actually worth money because it's rare. It's
My
also.
friend Asmagan, he's a long time Warhammer player. He recently got into Gunpla,
Mhm,
and he did a whole video on it about how incredibly cheap it is compared to collecting
mhm.
Warhammer stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And do you know what one of the cool things about Gunpla is?
But
Well, you know how like with Warhammer, there is only one experience level for Warhammer, right?
yeah,
All the models only snap together certain ways. Gunpla is actually it is encouraged that you make it your own. Funnily enough, that's why I love Gunpla. I collect Gunpla. Gunpla is amazing. My girlfriend also collects Gunpla. She's amazing. Ba, 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 ba. So, do you have anything you want to talk about, Mister Shadow? Other than all you play as Warframe?
Well, I've been wanting to play. Tried playing Cyberpunk. That won't work on Linux anymore. And I tried playing Hitman.
Mm.
The current Hitman. It's not Hitman 3 anymore. They changed the name. That don't work on Linux anymore.
Weird, because Cyberpunk works on Linux because it runs on the Steam Deck, which is a
It
Linux box.
it doesn't run on mine. I've tried different versions of Proton. I just can't get it going. Keeps crashing on the splash screens, and like certain versions of Proton will either run the launcher but not the game, or run the game but not the launcher. It's weird. And
Yeah,
like sometimes the
yeah,
game crashes on the splash screens loading up, even if you put the command in to skip them. It's just a recent
yeah.
update must have broke it. And Hitman also won't work, which is annoying because I wanted to play the splitter, which is the current uh,
Well, I could actually see
exclusive
Hitman.
mission.
Hitman's Ubisoft, right?
No.
Who?
What they're independent now, I believe, because they were under Square Enix, but they left. I think they're
Hmm.
just an independent company now.
Well, that's weird because Square Enix generally doesn't have a problem with Linux, but like Ubisoft does.
Mm.
Yeah, it might be something with an update and Proton just hasn't caught up yet. That does happen. But generally, I'm kind of excited, mostly because I love I love Gundam.
Mm.
It not a lot of people, well, it's unrealistic. I don't care about it being realistic. I've never cared about Gundam being realistic. Gundam's not about the realism to me. It's literally about the story. It's pretty fucking cool, and that's all I care about, you know. Also, Zig Zion. And I am just looking through some images of their announcement of this. Like, they played it off real well. Did some dioramas, gameplay type stuff. It looks cool. If it if they don't screw the pooch, it could actually do really good.
Yeah.
Did I get a different mic? No, I did not get a different mic actually. This is the same mic I've been using. Why do I sound different? La
I
da
mean,
da da da. The same mic I've been using.
in terms of game news, the remaster of Jedi Power Battles comes out this month. It's a classic game
Cool.
from I used to play.
Cool.
It's
Jedi Power.
Aspire though, so it could be terrible or it could be alright.
Well, see, the thing
Very hit
is
and miss.
like the problem is Star Wars has hit that point where it is just absolutely living off of the nostalgia of
Yeah.
older fans. Like,
Well, this
oh
is the thing.
fucking god.
Because of what they did to the franchise, they essentially ended the franchise and started a new one because what they call Legends is Star Wars, and now they've got everything they make now is part of the new Disney franchise. So what they've essentially done is they've put
La
proper
la
Star
la
Wars
la
in a
la
permanent
la.
sort of limbo where yeah that they're going to be forever remastering the old stuff people liked, but they can't ever add to it because they ended it.
Mhm,
That's just
mhm,
how
mhm.
Star Wars is now.
That's how you think it is, but not really. They can still do stuff with it. They could fix it if they really wanted to.
The thing is, the people running the franchise despise old Star Wars. They actively hate it. And they hate fans of it. They hate you if you like old Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah. But I am looking forward to the Gundam thing. I don't really care much about Star Wars because, well, Star Wars is kind of dead to me.
There's a new Dynasty Warriors this month, but that could also be hit and miss, given how the Dynasty Warriors has been for a while.
When do you think they'll bring in the using Vong? Never, never, because Disney canon is not about the story of Star Wars. It's not
Yep.
about competing interest in how the actual truth of everything is kind of the gray, the middle piece, and how everybody plays into the factor. It's not a story of heroes and villains. It's not a story of a universe that will continue going on no matter how much you try to improve it, save it, or corrupt it. The modern Star Wars is about white versus black, good versus evil.
And space lesbians who can asexually reproduce through the Force, apparently.
Yes, yes. The from 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 But it's because they don't like you. They hate you. And that's all okay. Do you know why it's okay? Actually, I think I know why my mic quality is so much better. I am actually talking fairly loud right now.
That's good.
Well, yeah, no, maybe. I'm not as tired today as I normally am. I am drinking a thing called a ghost energy drink. Plus, I'm also not 100 miles away from my mic. My mic is actually at my mouth right now. La 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 la
Lost your
la la.
mind.
La. I haven't lost my mind. I opened up the freaking stream with with dot hack side music because dot hack side music just slaps. Okay.
I will watch that first series when I've finished Dragon Ball Z.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm very, very, very nearly at the end of the whole Namek shit. It goes on for so long.
Yes, it does, but you know, all the other arcs also go on forever. Jackie is not on uppers. Jackie is on energy drink.
This is why Bulma is the most relatable character, because in every episode she just breaks down crying, going, I want to go home.
Yeah, basically. Let's go. But I'm going to continue this thread of thought. I actually am. I have only ever watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I will tell you it is a very long running anime. And that Toriyama actually wanted to end it several times.
Yep, and you can tell.
Because Toriyama wanted to do something different. Let the robot
See,
man
that's the
smoke his
thing.
cigarettes and read his
Every
dirty
artist,
books.
when they're successful, falls into that trap. Whatever work you make that gets big, that becomes all of your work from that point on.
Like I said, let the robot man smoke his cigarettes and read his dirty books. Rah, 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 rah,
Like,
rah, rah.
Kojima wanted to be done with Metal Gear so many times, they kept making him make more and more Metal Gear games, and that's why the story got more convoluted, because he just didn't want to keep writing it. He wanted to move on.
He founds his own company and he writes yet another Metal Gear because, yeah, there were a lot of off ramp. Yes, there was a lot of off ramp for Dragon Ball. A lot. But they were never taken. What did. he want to make? I don't know what he wanted to make. I mean, he was successful in making video game characters. He was successful in anime. I don't know what he wanted to make. He wanted to make something.
Funnily
But
enough, going back to Star Wars, George Lucas, when they were making Return of the Jedi, they had actually had three more films planned. It was going to be a six-film series. At the end of that film, Luke was supposed to kill Vader and take his place and turn to the dark side. Then in the next movie, Han and Leia were going to go on a search for Luke's twin sister, who wasn't Leia at this point.
well,
She's
yeah.
foreshadowed in the previous movie when Yoda says, no, there is another. But again, Lucas got so sick of Star Wars, he wanted to move on to Indiana Jones. He decided, right, let's just end it with this film. So they basically rewrote Return of the Jedi script to end the whole thing. That's why they sort of shoehorned in the fact that Leia is Luke's sister when that clearly wasn't meant to be the case. They ended the whole series right there. There was going to be a whole other three films. In fact, the main villain of the third film was going to be Jabba and Boba Fett. The majority of the film would have been rescuing Han Solo.
See, Raiders of the Ark came out in 1981. That was directed by Spielberg, not Lucas.
That's because Lucas was at his best when he's working with other people. When he's working on his own, you get the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Again, what the film that's considered the best Star Wars film, which is Empire, was directed by Irvin Kershner, not George Lucas.
La la la
And I think we see the same with Kojima as well, because he obviously worked with a team with most of the Metal Gear games, and then when he has his own company and he's surrounded by yes men, just like George Lucas was, you get Death Stranding, which is a convoluted mess where no one can tell you what on earth the game is about. And even the actors that were in it were like, yeah, I have no idea what I've just been in. I don't know what that's about at all.
Well, see, the thing is that, like, having read the book series that came after the original trilogy before Disney bought the rights, uh, like, Luke doesn't become part of the dark side. He literally just becomes, I'm a Jedi Master. I train people. Ruda, 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 ruda. And it becomes Leia and Han Solo's responsibility to control their very force sensitive children.
All I've read so far is the Throne trilogy. How far I am into it.
Curse or the Omen series is actually really good. It's about Sith crashing on a planet. La 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 la. But yes, when it comes down to it,
Whoever read a I think Dark Horse Comics did a comic adaptation of the original concept script for Star Wars. Have you ever looked into that?
I have actually read several different Star Wars comics, including the Marvel ones. I believe I've read the Dark Horse ones. There's one that makes it all the way to the end of the universe, and this is the funny thing about Star Wars in the old canon. It ends with a Skywalker and it begins with the same Skywalker. It is a never-ending cycle of Skywalkers. La 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 la.
There's a Dark Horse comic called The Star Wars, because that's what the original title was, and it's based on what Star Wars would have been if they went with the original concept, and it's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, I'm absolutely terrible, but that's beside the point. But yes, no. When it comes to Star Wars is the Empire keeps coming back. Sorta, sorta. Not always. It's not always the Empire. Sometimes it is this. It is other things. But the empire is meant to be the thought process of illusion of total control, which is what it plays a really good analog for like evil, but not necessarily evil, just one way of thinking. If that makes sense. Of course, going by the Disney canon, they're literally Nazis. Ba-da-da-da.
Disney's too busy right now trying to make every faction completely grey, trying to make the Jedi look like bad guys and Sith look really sympathetic and oppressed, and completely
Well,
derailing what the
yes.
whole franchise is about.
Yes, yes. Well, that's because Disney doesn't understand what Disney is. As a
I would
famish.
love to see what Walt Disney would think of Disney today if he came back to life.
Oh, he would
Probably
probably
hate
throw a
it.
shoe at somebody, you know. He would probably
Yeah.
wake up and be like, bro, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? What the wrong? What the wrong with you, bro? La 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 la. But yeah. That's what we deal with in the nerd kingdom. Things that don't make sense. Oh my god.
Walt Disney as well. I kind of see him as one of the early examples of like cancel culture because people to this day still believe the narrative that he was an anti Semite, and that was actually a rumor created by the communists in Hollywood because he was trying to expose the fact that there were KGB subversion within Hollywood. And a lot of the films coming out had socialist messaging. So at the time, they started spreading rumours that he was not only an anti Semite, but he was actively funding Adolf Hitler's political campaign.
It's funny because Walt Disney was a Jew.
Yeah. But it's literally the exact same tactics they use today. If you try to expose them, well, what's their go-to thing? Oh, well, you're a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi. He's part of the far right or the alt-right. Basically, what they did to Walt Disney, and people
Wow.
still believe it.
Wow. Shadow is learning. Shadow
People
is
still think that Walt was an anti-Semite.
learning. It's not cancel culture is nothing new. We just gave it a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Cancel culture was used heavily by the right in the 1990s and early 2000s. Do you know why? Because, oh my god, the gays. If the gays get married, if we accept gay, they're gonna turn our children gay. Don't you start with
You
me.
want to know how
I
quickly the culture shifted from right to left? When did Mass Effect 2 come out?
yeah.
What year? Because that was like, I'd say like the 2010s, right? Or was it late
I don't know.
2000s?
Fucking remember. Jeez.
It's within our lifetime. The first game obviously had Liara in it, who you can romance as both male or female shepherd, which was a
2010. It came out in 2010.
and that was a huge controversy that made it onto Fox News and everything. They were like, "Oh my god, this video game is turning your kids gay. It's got a lesbian romance in it."
Oh
Mass
my
Effect
god.
2 comes out, and the character Jack, who's heavily implied to be bisexual in her
Mm-hmm.
dialogue and her backstory, you cannot romance her as female shepherd, and in fact, there's no same-sex romance in that game. And the reason is because of the backlash from the media and the culture at the time. That's how quickly we shifted, where within living memory we had games that were afraid of the right's cultural backlash, and that wasn't that long ago, and we've shifted so quickly to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where now it's the left's backlash that everyone's afraid of.
So, do you want to know what caused the backlash from the right? Because for a very long time, the right actually didn't care if you wanted to be the homosex. Believe it or not, it wasn't a con. They looked down on it, but they didn't really give that much. Do you want to know what caused it? A court decision in the United States.
What was it about?
It's called the Hobbs decision, which allowed gay marriage in the U.S. But what a
Let
lot
me
of people,
guess. It was on the federal level, and people had an issue because it was overruling individual states' right to determine that.
sure, sure, but here's the problem with that. The big problem with that, there were 38 states in which gay couples could get married.
Exactly.
And the even funnier part about this is you can go to my home state of Alabama, where that was legally passed via legislation, and most of the people don't know it because it was overshadowed by the Hobbs decision.
This is the same as the Roe v. Wade thing and the abortion debate. Where, like a leftist, if you say you're against Roe v. Wade, leftists will go, "Oh, you just don't want abortion." It's like, no, the most people are against it because it was at the federal level and it overruled any, smaller government like local state
Actually,
governments.
Side note update on cheesecake. Bavarian cream is almost done. Pictures soon to follow. We return you to your regularly scheduled program. Please enjoy this elevator music.
Anyways, yeah, no, there's a lot that goes into that, and when it comes to culture war stuff, like, oh fucking god, the things that people believe, oh, there's a satanic panic. Do you know? I've lived through two satanic panics. That's the funny part about this shit. Weren't the Republicans the first party to run on?
What was the name of
Yes, they
the?
were actually. The Republican Party was the first party to run an openly gay candidate. But because there was a backlash at the. No, you're not wrong. Because there was a backlash at the fucking ground level. Yeah, that's what happened. And then the Christian right's like, oh, we gotta stay current and we hate things because they're not Christian. First off, yeah, you know who you are. Go fuck yourself. But yes, the Republican Party was like the first major party to run an openly gay candidate. They were called Lockhouse Republicans. People don't know that term. Oh my god. It's so amazing. La 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 la. Yeah, log cabin Republicans. Yay, Republicans. But of
There's
course, you know.
another contrast I find interesting. During the Satanic Panic,
Which one?
the one most people probably think of back when like it was like against D&D and nudity and all this stuff. Back then, the attitude of the entertainment industries was to double down and increase the amount of offensive stuff to stick it to those trying to censor them.
Fuck yeah!
Today, the go-to response is to not only submit to the censorship, but to actively support it and say it's a good thing. Like a game company today will not only allow journalists to come in and say, "Well, that's sexist. You need to change that." The law, the developers themselves will go, "Yes, you are right. This is horribly sexist, and we're right to change it."
This is horribly sexist and you should change it. Oh, fuck you. You see, that's the glory of Cox Studios. We reserve the right to kick you in the nutsack. La 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 la. Please donate to us. We will use it to buy not hookers and cocaine.
It does feel like everything's made by cooks these days.
Well, it's because it's the end thing, darling. You see, if you challenge the narrative, you're likely not to have a livelihood. Much like how my YouTube channel has been hemorrhaging subscribers since I get the shadow ban lifted. Or have you not noticed?
I haven't been looking.
Yeah. I'm back down around 15k. And I will probably be around 10k by the end of this video. La la. Because boys, men, women, children, people named Dave, I need you.
Did you see this was during the Game Awards? You probably didn't see because it was cringe. But one of the people behind Baldur's Gate 3 came out and did a speech about, like, why, it's better to choose making a good product first over pushing political agenda. And he did that on stage at a very woke, controlled and managed show.
Oh, congratulations. He
It's
will be
like,
found. He will be found fired and guilty.
I
Look,
remember
I'm already the most
that,
canceled VTuber in the world. I don't feel any sympathy anymore.
yeah.
I am preemptively canceled these days. I am so preemptively canceled. My X score is literally 3 of 100. Sorry, that's what YouTube wants me to say. They're getting on to me for speaking my opinion. So, anyways, we're gonna play a fun little game with chat. What is your favorite sci-fi warship, and why? The answer,
Yeah,
Miss
you're
Murphy.
wrong.
You're always wrong. Always. You're never right. Ba, 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 ba. See, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you. I'm getting tired of everything that I'm into becoming mainstream. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it. I'm
I'm
training,
worried
right?
about Monster Hunter Wilds because I think after Rise it's become like a big thing now and all the normies are looking forward to it, which means that it's probably going to cater to them more now.
Well, okay, I don't really have a problem with normies because here's the thing. I can still make a product the way that I want to make a product, and most people, if they are interested in the product, will buy it or not. I'm not going to cater to them. Normies will pick up a game if it looks fun and interesting. I'm not as worried. I'm worried about that 1% of a demographic. The ones that have to. Well, actually, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. Because one of the biggest problems that a lot of people have is they prescribe that normies are the ones that do all this shit when it's not actually normies. Normies will pick up a product if it looks fun, interesting, entertaining. They might complain about the challenging difficulty. Actually, most normies I run into on the street like or will tell me whether they like the challenging difficulty or not. The people that I actually have a problem with are, well, actually, the ones that have a problem with everything. The ones that will sit there and complain about something rather than give constructive criticism or, positive anything about anything. The ones that really liked Witch from Mercury up until the mosquito slap incident. When they
What was
found out
that?
that the mosquito slaps incident, it's when they found
I've
out that
heard
it's when
the
they found
name Witch of Mercury once before. All I remember is people thought a character was a lesbian and then she wasn't, and then it caused a big outcry from
okay, so that
certain
wasn't the
people.
that wasn't the first huge outcry. By the way, it was kind of funny, but not really. It wasn't the first big. The first big outcry happens in an episode where the Gundam pilot kills another mobile suit pilot because giant fucking war machine is all about hugging and kissing and lesbians. Totally. It's not about, the concepts and
So they got
philosophies of
upset
how bad
because
war
there
is.
was a death in a war story. Is that like what? I
The
don't
worst
get it.
fate of your franchise isn't cancellation, it's going. Well, yes, sorta. Sorta. Going mainstream sucks. You know.
What was the slap incident? Or
Basically,
mosquito, whatever it is.
it's the mosquito slap incident. It is where Gundam Aaron, I think's the name of the witch from Mercury Gundam, hit another mobile suit so hard that it killed the pilot instantaneously.
Was it an enemy or something?
Yes, it was an anime. It upset so many people because it's like, people die. Yes, it's a Gundam series. People die. Countless numbers of people die. Hi, I'm Jackie.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
What, that people didn't believe that people died in Gundam series?
Yeah, it's a war story. Like, you know that getting into, you see the mechs and you just assume, right?
No, people didn't.
What did they think it was going to be?
I don't know what they thought it was. I guess they thought it was lesbian anime with robots. Because when people start dying, it's like, yeah, people die, dude. Gundam's Gundam's about philosophy. It's about war philosophy and how terrible fucking war actually is. You can watch any Gundam series and it is literally about how bad war is and how it affects people. Char Aznable, for example, became war obsessed and his mind fucked. But that's just one of those things people don't seem to understand. It's
Yeah.
just bad. La 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 la. And it's getting worse and worse as time goes by. I'm not even fucking kidding about this. I had somebody tell me that Skyrim had too much murder in it. Skyrim, a game where you can choose not to murder things, has too much murder in it. A game where you can literally glitch through the world and not kill anything has too much murder in it. I had somebody tell me that Dwarf Fortress should be rated M for mature because of the amount of drinking in it. And I'm like, it's dwarves, dude. It is a colony survival game. But yeah, that's how people think. That is how a certain sect of people think. Everything needs to be a hug box with plastic and fucking soft foam. Where nobody dies and everybody lives forever and can be anything. Like the turbo gay lesbian straight couple of the universe. Oh my god. And a woman can impregnate another woman because secretly she's a trans. Even though she's not really a trans, she was born a woman. Because people don't want to, offend anybody anymore. Oh my god, I'm offended. Do you know how many people make fun of me for being trans? A day. You know how much shit I get for what I am? And do you know what I do about it? I laugh. I find it funny. It's hilarious. Get to know me, honey. Enough talking in circles. Hi. But yes, I, like many a white woman, am excited and full of caffeine. Caffeine.
Whereas I'm tired because I don't know why I'm always tired.
Well, how often do you leave the house and actually exercise?
Well, I try going for walks, but then I'm still tired. I just don't understand. I drink tea all day, which has got caffeine, and it's still tired. Just
That's
never have any energy.
That sounds like a you problem. Ah. I work a full time job and I still have energy to spare. Ba, 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 ba. Although I will probably pass out once once I decide to pass out. That's generally how that goes. Generally how it goes. The Portatuke was played by elevator music today. But yes.
What else is there to go on about?
Not much actually. That's the problem. There's never much to go on about because, well, everything is politics. I'm politics, you're politics, they're politics.
Yeah, well, that's intentional, isn't it? That's what they want. They don't want you to have an escape.
Well, they're making a Melania Trump documentary and it's coming to Amazon Prime. That means it's going to be wonderful, right? It's going to be amazing.
Who cares? She's someone's wife. I don't understand people that get famous for being related to a famous person or being married to a famous person. It's like, what?
She was famous before
Wasn't
she
that
got
why
married.
the
She was
the
famous
Kardashian
before.
people were famous? Because like one of them was married to Kanye West or something. It's like, yeah, but why are you famous though? What do you do? Nothing.
One of them was married to Bruce Jenner. That's how they got famous. Duh.
I don't get it.
Neither do
I
I.
don't get celebrities at all, really. I've never cared about celebrities.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, oh my god, look at all of the celebrity stuff. Oh my god, celebrity, celebrity, celebrity. Oh my god, celebrity, celebrity, celebrity. Fuck. What even is a celebrity anymore? Like, am I a celebrity? I'm a micro net celebrity. I'm an e-celeb. I'm a celeb. I mean, let's look. Sports, I don't care. News. I don't really care much about news today. I don't want to talk about news. What's trending? Oh, well, a whole bunch of sports stuff I don't, guess what, give a shit about. But do you know why? Do you know why this is a thing? Young Shadow. Do you have any idea why this is a thing? And it's not my settings on X. It is literally because, well, you need bread and circuses. That's right, bread and circuses. You will eat the bread, watch the circus, and you will forget about all the things going on around you. I just can't even right now. Yes, Adam, but can you odd? Can you odd, Adam? Do you know how to odd? I know how to odd. But do you know how to odd?
Oh, those. I only saw I think it was V made a video on an article that came out by the mainstream media where it's like Zoomers can't even name 10 Hollywood actors. And it's like presenting this as though it's like a concerning thing. It's like, we don't care.
Can you name 10 Hollywood actors? Name 10 Hollywood
No.
actors. I can, but they're all fucking retired. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis. Also Bruce Willis. Sigourney Weaver's Bush. Bruce Willis. I just never really cared. There are certain actors that I enjoy, and obviously I can name them. Like, Die Hard is still the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Uh, Arnold, I can't say his last name because this is on YouTube. did a really good job in Predator and Terminator. Let's see. Sigourney Weaver's Bush was definitely the star of that one movie, Ayla Mouse. Are you not going to
I'm
say
just
anything?
glad that in the age of, social media, when we actually got an insight into what these people actually think, and the whole illusion of like the Hollywood actor was shattered when people realise, oh no, these are all school dropouts who are now basically adult man children with retarded lefty political opinions.
Not all of
And
them.
probably
Some
all
of
on
them.
the Epstein flight list.
Some of them, not all of them. And a lot of them have to. A lot of them actually have to broadcast their leftist ideals because, well, that's the only way they can keep their job. Yeah, I'm not even
Yeah.
freaking kidding. Did you know the guy that played Hercules in the 90s TV show, for example, was a big Christian, right? But he had to hide that or he would have been canceled.
Yeah.
Which is funny
Well,
because both
they.
Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess are
Do
played
you
on
remember?
lesbian gay television.
You remember the whole Vic Mignogna cancellation? But they tried to Me Too him, but it turned out the reason they were doing it is because he was Christian and they didn't want to work with him. So they were trying to get him kicked out of the studio for on
Yes,
like
I know.
fake sexual stuff.
I remember that. I read threads on that. I totally read threads on that. Yeah, some
All the
stupid shit
evidence was
happens.
when fans take pictures with him, he puts his arm around them, which is literally what every fucking celebrity does when you take a picture with them.
Oh fuck no, I don't. You take a picture with me, you get a blank
Well, yeah,
stare. I'm autistic. I'm
people probably
terrified.
don't
Why are you
now
touching?
after
Stop
the Vic
touching! Stop!
Mignogna shit, but
Stop!
like,
Stop touching me! Don't touch me! Please don't touch me! I don't. No, no, this is not okay. I'm autistic.
it's
Okay.
literally they were trying to kick the guy out of the studio because they didn't like the fact they had to work with a Christian. That was it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't like the fact that I have to work with bottom sluts, but you know, it is life. Life. It is life. Anyways, yeah, no, I understand that, and there's a lot of that that happens. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
nothing you do will ever make these people happy. You know
There we
that,
go.
right? Who are you?
Pictures of cheesecake are up.
Oh, do I need to share the pictures of the cheesecake?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
I will indulge the people with the cheesecake
It's
and
breaking news.
what looks like a foot. Cheesem cakes. Glorious cheesem cake.
No cracks either.
A smooth cheesecake.
Bavarian cream.
Look at this cheesecake.
And now I have to wait 5 to 6 hours for it to cool.
Ah, cool. Well, do you have any opinions on anything that's happening in the nerdum today?
Uh,
Other than Jackie slowly losing her mind.
let's see. Online gaming was a mistake.
I don't know about that.
Uh,
I
Live
this.
service patches are a crutch for creativity and kills creativity in general.
Mhm, 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 mhm,
And streamers and competitive players shouldn't have any influence on how a game is,
mhm.
balanced.
No, we should. Honestly, we should.
It's like
No,
We're
I said
most
when we were
we're
watching
mostly
that.
here to sell you a product. You know that, right?
We was
streamers
watching
should
that
not be
Dark Pack
allowed about.
anime, and I said what
Streamers
killed
should.
MMOs was the focus on PvP.
That ain't
Focus on streamers.
so fun little fact about that, it is not the focus on PvP that killed MMOs.
It's the balance of competitive players.
That is one thing, yes. When people say MMOs, they generally mean a subsect of MMOs, which is called MMORPGs. which are role playing games. And this is the funny part of why I've been waterboarding Took with the Dot Hack series.
This is a thing, like, if you go in, say, the discussion forums for, say, like, the Old Republic, you'll get posts saying, like, don't you guys think it's cringy when you see these guys, like, role-playing in the chat? It's like, it's literally what this whole genre of game is for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the normies that play them today are like, that's cringy, why are you doing that? Just play PvP.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and listen to me. PvP has been a core part of MMOs for a very long time. The
Oh
thing
no, I'm
is,
saying it should be unbalanced as fuck because it's memorable that way.
mm,
Yeah.
but the thing is I've been waterboarding too with the Dot Hack series, which does actually kind of represent the different eras of MMO very well. I'm sure Took noticed that. The very first, which is Dot Hack Sign, there is very little combat.
Oh, I know, it's glorious.
It is a lot of conversation, planning. It is a lot of role play. That was what early MMORPGs were. Meanwhile, yeah, there is a player kill a character out there. There is combat out there. What the next one we attempted to watch was Roots, which is R2, and that one's a little harder to follow because it's more of your a 2015 MMO.
Which is to say, 2015 was a garbage.
Mm-hmm. Because
This
there's
is
been
why
this
I'm
much.
annoyed that I missed out on Star Wars Galaxies, because early Star Wars Galaxies before they messed with it. Because the idea of that game was there wasn't, so like in the Old Republic, you have the class story. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone playing the game is the protagonist of the game. In Galaxies, there was no player story at all. You were just a person living in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah.
You had to make your own story. Like, and you could do any job. You didn't even have to do combat. You could be a doctor, an entertainer. You could be a merchant. You could be a politician. In the player-built cities, you could run for election. There
Mm-hmm.
was all sorts of
Wait a
stuff in
second,
that game.
Baba Oko called you a furry. Ha!
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold on. Hot VTuber on VTweeter action. Hot VTuber on VTweeter action. Because Shadow qualifies as a VTweeter until he can actually fucking stream.
I will stream when I'm out of this house, and that'll probably be in like 10 years when the economy changes and rent becomes affordable on minimum wage.
Impossible.
So, I need you guys, are close to Trump. Can you tell him to fucking invade, please, and make us another state?
Well, everybody, just invade us already, please.
But
You
yeah,
have oil. Plenty of
hot.
oil up in Scotland.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Shadow's a furry. Mama Akko has confirmed that Shadow is a furry. Also, love you, Mama Akko. Continue doing what you're doing. Calling Shadow a
Shout out
furry.
to Mama Aka.
This
Yeah,
is
shout out.
slander.
Call him again.
Slander.
Shout out to the octopus person.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Call
I'm
him a furry
cool.
again, Mama Ako.
He is a furry.
I've started watching Akko a lot.
She's good.
She's
She's
rivaling Kershaw for my main VTuber now.
I need to watch Mama Ako. I've been watching Kershaw for a while.
The problem I have with Kershaw is the moment I stop watching Kershaw, I get hit with a train wreck that is Kershaw. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anybody that's followed the Crazy Fox Lady for a long time.
Just immediately, God damn it!
You see this clip and you're just like, I want to know more. What is the context of this clip? Why is she screaming?
Oh, God damn it. Life of Boris updated with another recipe that I'm going to have to make.
Oh no. Oh no, our local chef needs money. Because
Oh
what?
no, I've got that. That's no problem. Cabbage
Have you
pierogi looks
seen
good.
Chef, please?
We want to we want to build Tuka studio where he can wear flip flops and cargo shorts, a t shirt and a toque while cooking. We're going to call it Stoner's Kitchen.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Because I have seen some of Took's creations. He's seen some of mine. I think Took could do a great cooking show.
Alright, we're gonna do this. Fucking god damn it!
Why is it on fire?
If something is on fire in my kitchen, I is seriously fucked up. Unless I'm flambeing something.
I have never successfully did a flambe or a baked Alaska.
Flambe's really not that hard. Just
I have described my baking skills, right?
no.
So I may have, great skills operating a grill, operating stoves, cooking things like steak, fucking shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have me bake a cake, right? It will kill people.
Intentionally?
I made brownies that could replace bricks.
Because they're dense and chocolatey, right?
You're making them for Space Marines?
I have also made chocolate cupcakes that were so sinfully rich that they caused a man with the opposite of diabetes to go into a diabetic coma.
What
The
if I
nurse,
could? I can make lava cupcakes. That'd be good.
they weren't lava. They were what are they? They have like sweet Bavarian cream in them.
Oh, that's actually what I just put on the cheesecake.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's the same concept as lava, but once the cupcake's cool, you inject them with your cream.
What do you guys think of flapjack? I like flapjack.
Flapjacks? You mean pancakes? They're alright.
That's not what a flapjack is.
There's a difference between a flapjack and a pancake.
They're not
What?
anything even close to pancakes.
Okay, explain.
Is this an Americanism again?
No. No.
Flapjacks and
like-
pancakes are synonymous.
They are
They
not.
are
They're
similar,
nowhere
they're different.
near the same genre of food.
Up here they are. You should say flapjacks, but you think you want pancakes. The hell's the difference?
It's like saying tomatoes are a kind of potato. It's like, no.
Okay, what the fuck is the difference?
I'm legitimately curious because, like, as a southerner, there is a difference between flapjacks and pancakes.
Fuck is a
Also-
flap? Okay, okay. You think he considers flapjacks granola based?
Yeah.
You post an image in general, and you will
Or
see
as
this is flapjack in Britain or in Europe or anywhere outside of the United States or Canada or whatever. Yeah, that's flapjack.
okay,
Like a
cool.
potty thing. Not
Okay.
even related.
Yeah, if
to
you say
pancakes.
flapjacks in Canada, we think you want pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means up here. Flapjacks are pancakes, and those are granola bars.
The flapjack in the South is similar to a pancake, but it's a very dense cake, and generally has to be made in a cast iron skillet.
Oh, you're talking like big fucking pancakes.
They're not big pancakes because we'll make pancakes that size too. The difference is pancakes are more airy. They're lighter, and generally flapjacks have cornmeal in them.
Oh, see, we just call them flapjacks.
Yeah.
And if they have cornmeal, it's just cornbread.
Well, cornbread and a flapjack are two different things.
Well,
Again,
that's what I mean.
Southern
Though up here in Canada, flapjack and pancake means the same thing.
Yeah. What flapjack means to Shadow is basically what
Granola bar.
Yeah, we would call it granola bar. But to
Really nice,
Americans. Also, there is another favorite of mine, griddle cakes. And somebody's going to go, what's the difference between a griddle cake and a pancake? Griddle cakes are sweeter.
I misheard you. I thought you said rail cakes, as if it's like fired from a railgun or some shit, like it's magnetic.
Red tape.
We're delivering these cakes at the speed of sound. Nobody knows how rural Alabama got railgun technology, but by God, we're gonna use it. Deliver them cakes, Jimbo.
Did you ever hear my theory of why they picked Alabama to be the headquarters of NASA for a very long time?
Go on.
It's simple. The rednecks kept shooting at the moon.
Fair enough.
Is it
Like,
true that there's been incidents in the US of people shooting the screen in theatres? Like people of a certain
yes.
complexion.
Yes.
Yes.
Wild.
Yes. White people shoot at movie screens. We all know this.
Why we
Oh, I
don't
wasn't
know.
talking about that.
There is also signs in Arkansas that says, please do not shoot at the signs with bullet holes.
Yeah, for some reason I love shooting at street signs. I don't get that.
We just like, look, as somebody from Southern Appalachia, we just like stealing them.
Yeah, that happens a lot up here too. My
Yes, but most of the time that's
little brother has
teenagers
stolen several ones that have his name. He wasn't a teenager.
and no, I'll be honest with you. It's one of the greatest things in the world. You come to a four-way stop and you just see there used to be a stop sign here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop.
There
No
used
one
to
could
be a
stop.
stop sign here.
It was generally assumed that you just,
You would know. But yeah, no, there was also the time that they replaced these stop signs with go signs. That caused a lot of confusion. Go. Why does the sign say go? But yeah, no, stealing signs, catalytic converters, the tires off your car. Why do white people do it? We don't know. Also, I have been getting back into UFO stories for no apparent reason. I felt like I needed to share that with the class.
The thing with aliens is, I believe that there is alien life in the universe. I just don't believe they've ever come here. Because I don't have this weird, vain idea that Earth is really important in the universe. And so aliens must have come here or they must know about us. Like, we're just a planet in a star system somewhere. Why would they even know we exist?
Because
Like
we're
all the
important.
ancient alien shit where it's like, look, they must have been here all throughout history and made this and that. It's like, why would they even know we exist? We're one planet.
See, I look at it like this: fucking Alamel show up show up to Earth because not only are we the best species in the world, we're the best species in the world. Think about what I just said there. Also because they want to study primitive civilizations that kill themselves before they ever fucking get off the planet. In other words, hey, look at these warlike monkeys. They're funny. Do you any good robbery channels? I don't have any good murder memory or murder memory. I don't have any good murder mystery channels or robbery channels. I'm always looking.
However, you should indeed watch Columbo.
Oh, Columbo is a great series.
Columbo is a masterpiece.
It really is. It really is a
Not
masterpiece.
familiar with that one.
You should watch it. It's good. You should.
Yeah. If you make it through this podcast, we should totally just watch Columbo.
Isn't it a detective show?
Yes. Yeah. Another good
Yes.
series that a lot of people don't know about is Baba Black Sheep or Black Sheep Sweater. It is another old one, but it's a good one.
Did you guys get Poirot in over there? Or was that just in Britain?
Probably, but we didn't care.
I used to watch that.
Yeah, Columbo's based on something like Detective Poirot and a few other ones.
I am Inspector Jacques Cousteau. And I am looking for information on the Pink Panther diamond. Yui. Did you know that movie was not supposed to be a comedy?
What
And yet
movie?
I like the Pink Panther. I know.
Fuck my government, but we'll talk about that after the stream. The Pink Panther.
Pink Panther.
And Belka.
And Bacha. You gotta get the phlegm in there. Remember, they're not French, or they're not the white French anymore.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, we. But yeah, no, the Pink Panther was not supposed to be a comedy, and yet it is funny as hell to me.
That the live action movie that had nothing to do with the cartoon, or did the cartoon
Yes.
come later?
The cartoon came later.
Uh,
The cartoon actually came from the intro.
Doo-doo, doo-doo,
Doo-doo.
doo-doo, 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 doo-doo,
all I remember is, did he have like an Asian butler who's trained to always try to kill him to keep him on his toes? Or is that a different film? Like every time he comes back to his house, this guy would jump out from behind the curtains and try and attack him.
I think so. Yeah. But no, the Pink Panther is a great movie. It is an oldie but a goodie. See, when people think like, what kind of movies did Jackie like? Jackie likes a lot of weird movies.
Let's see here.
I mean, one of my favorite TV shows of all time ended before I was born.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
Hogan's.
technically, Columbo didn't end and didn't end before I was born.
Oh, I was talking about Hogan's Heroes.
Also a classic show.
The all the seasons of Hogan's Heroes where Don Crane was still alive. I don't care how old you are, that shit is still funny.
Oh fuck yeah! I have it. I have. I have acquired the entirety of Hogan's Heroes through completely legal means.
The same thing with Black Sheep Squadron. Like, that show ended before I was born. That show is about the World War II Black Sheep Squadron. It is very much a comedy because what happens when you take a bunch of criminals in the Navy aviation circuit and you give them an island base and tell them what their mission is, and they can
Hogan's
accomplish their
Heroes
mission.
is World War II, right?
Yes. So is Baba
Yeah.
Black Sheep or Black Sheep Squadron.
I have to say that my all-time favorite series ever made was probably Megas XLR, and then followed by. I would have to go. The next one would be Columbo, then the Venture Brothers.
Go Team Venture!
I'm still fucking, I'm still molding about how that ended because Adult Swim got basically murdered by David Slav or whatever the fuck his name is. Shitbag McDoucheface. And they had their entire last season, even though it was greenlit and ready to go, and they were still writing it, and like they just finished up writing. No, this douchecock comes in and completely fucks everything over, and then just pittances them a fucking movie. Yes, I will continue to be salty about this.
I loved the Venture Bros because it was just funny. I love the fact that they did the pilot, and the pilot is completely different than anything else in the show. The pilot is very much the more adult cartoon of the time. Every episode after that is just a riff track of glory. Ignore me!
Which he hates that. Absolutely despises that meme.
I know.
Ignore me. Still one of my best characters. Still one of the best characters.
Megas XLR is just an amazing piece of cartoon history.
Every single fucking episode, they destroy New Jersey. It's magnificent.
And just open punk riffing on a guitar as a soundtrack.
Oh my god. I would say that is a good portion of the metal that I grew up with.
Just open punk riffing.
Oh, I have the entire Megas XLR soundtrack. It's fantastic.
It is.
And it is a fucking mix.
It is, but the thing that I loved is, like, it was very much aimed at a certain demographic of person. That was very much the video gamer that listened to metal and punk, knew what the internet was, liked giant robots and beat 'em up cartoons, you know, the weekly beat 'em up. Monster
man.
of the Week.
I love the Monster of the Week format.
I love the episode that was riffing on Ed McMahon.
Was that the fighting episode?
Yeah.
Where Bruce Campbell is their version of MODOK?
Yeah. So amazing. It was well done.
I fucking love that his ultimate weapon in that episode is him singing. Like, they're so afraid of it, he has it locked. Like, everything else, fair game. Him singing on an amplified speaker is locked behind a nuclear weapons level grade of don't fuck with this. 2 separate keys requiring a thumb imprint and then a button push.
Another classic episode of Megas XLR is the car show episode where he smashes the combat core.
Oh god, where he has to dance.
Yeah, he goes into manual override, and Kiva's like, "There's no manual override." I added a manual override.
I just love it when it's just like, I never added anything like that. Or where's the time flux control unit? It used to be right there. Cuts back to him destroying it. Yeah, I couldn't fix that part.
I don't know why. It's just one of those shows that always stuck with me. Especially since that. Ooh. That hurt. I am not a fish.
I don't believe you. That's not something a fish would say.
That is actually how you stop yourself from hiccuping. You say, "I'm not a fish."
I just say orange.
Different strokes for different folks. But yeah, no, Megas XLR was a fucking amazing show.
God, I miss that show.
And it's just weird moments like Coop is a fat kid, but he is fucking kicking ass at DDR. What made you want to
kicking ass at everything? How do we fix this? When in doubt, duck it.
When in doubt, duck it. Or when he launches missiles and it's just a dashboard full of switches that says missiles. More missiles. Even more missiles.
We have a copy of that.
It is one of the greatest gifts of all time.
Or one of my favorite ones is where they have it, it just says literally the same button Coop pushed 5 minutes ago. Literally what the button is called. They know they have they're writing on a shoestring budget of fuck it, it's cool. Megas XLR is like the definition of, can we write a show based on the rule of cool, and that's all it needs. They even got the fucking voices of the goddamn original Optimus Prime and Megatron in there for an episode.
Living here in Jersey, fighting villains from afar. You gotta find first gear in your giant robot car.
For the episode where they go to a fucking metal show.
Oh god,
God,
that's
I love that one.
where Kiva has to make sure her parents meet.
Yeah, her great ancestors or whatever.
Yeah. Just shit like that. Just so funny as hell. And I love how even the intro music it fucking references shit that happened in the show, like Coop has no idea where first gear in the car is.
Well, that's the thing. Coop is a musclehead. He knows everything about that car. Like when they first asked him, "What'd you do?" Well, I dropped in a what is it? A 6 CD changer, a new Jimmy. Oh God, goes on like car shit. Gets his garage destroyed. Hey, I was gonna fix that.
Well, I also loved when they were like showing Coop growing up and all he's reading video game magazines and car magazines.
God, I remember it was the very first time that I saw it. It was during the cartoon Summerfest that came out, and everybody was voting on what they wanted another. This was how you got a season because it was just Cartoon Network going, let's just throw this in there and let animators do their thing. And they had so many fucking shows.
They had a few good ones. Like I know 2 or 3 of them actually made or got seasons.
Yeah.
Because that's how Dexter's Lab also got its first season.
Kenny Tartakovsky is a fucking masterclass in how to tell a story. Can't really manage to wrap them up.
You know another one that's like that though?
Hmm?
The guy that created the Powerpuff Girls.
He's the same guy. Oh wait,
Is he?
no, there's 2 different ones. I think he did the animation.
Yeah, the person that wrote the story for the Powerpuff Girls ended up having to quit because he couldn't figure out what to do with the Powerpuff Girls.
Let's see.
If I remember correctly, or he gave it over
Yeah,
to
he
them.
was. Let's see. He was the creator and director of Dexter's Lab, the director, supervising producer, writing, recording director, and storyboard artist for the Powerpuff Girls. Creator of Samurai Jack, Star Wars Clone Wars. That was another amazing bit. Symbiotic Titan, Primal, and Unicorn Warriors Eternal. What?
Symbiotic Titan was actually really good, but Sony killed it off.
This is an adult animated.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Heavily influenced. The visual of the series are heavily influenced by works of Osamu Tezuka and Max Fleischer.
Hmm?
Okay.
There are certain cartoonists that were just insane back then.
This came out in 20. This came out 2 years ago now. Damn, it's 2025.
Samurai Jack was pretty cool, but the thing with Samurai Jack that always intrigued me was it wasn't about the animation style. It's literally the music, which isn't really music at all. It is all sound effects.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. The
This
audio
looks interesting.
The audio engineering behind Samurai Jack is actually what makes it such a rememberable cartoon. Because who can't ever unhear Jack sheathing his sword? And this is
Never
coming
actually
from
watched the full show. I've only seen the odd random bit of it.
Okay.
This
looks good. I'm gonna watch this.
This is coming from somebody that watched Rurouni Kenshin growing up.
God, I remember when that came out.
You know about the creator of that, right?
Nope.
Oh dear.
You're about to
Don't
tell
worry
me
about
something
it.
that I'm not enjoying.
Oh,
No,
don't worry
rip the
about it.
Band-Aid off.
So, okay, just to make sure I've got this right, Rurouni Kenshin's the one with the ginger protagonist, right? Is a samurai.
Samurai with the reverse sword.
Right, but he's got orange hair, right? Just to make sure I'm
Yes.
thinking of the same anime.
He is, but
The
also a
creator of
cancer.
that, of Rurouni Kenshin, was caught in possession of so much child material, he's suspected to have been a distributor.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Eh.
And he's still somehow able to work on the remake of the show. He's still making money to back.
What, from prison?
Yeah. No, he's out.
Well, the thing is
They're working with him.
child material, by the time it makes it over to the US, could also be had hentai. A certain
It
genre of
wasn't.
hentai.
It wasn't drawn stuff, I believe. I think this was real because this is in Japan. He's done by the
Eh.
police for this.
Let's see, 2015, police found DVDs with footage of naked girls in their early teens in Watsuki's Tokyo office. They raided Watsuki's home as part of an investigation into the purchase of CP and uncovered about 100.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was referred to prosecutors over possession of CP on November 21st, 2017. He was fined 200,000 yen, about 1,900 US dollars, and that's all that came of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Into the wood chipper.
Into the wood chipper.
You know when they say don't meet your heroes? I think today's just don't look into your heroes.
No. Definitely look into your heroes. Always look into how the sausage is made. The uncomfortable truth is better than blissful ignorance.
No.
Yeah. And I've actually met a few of my heroes. And some of them actually turned out to be okay. Some of them turned out to be retards. But that's beside the point.
I can't meet any of my heroes. They're all dead.
Yeah. But no, that's one of the things, like, I get it. Not really. I don't understand it at all. The man shouldn't have done that. Should be in a wood chipper. Well, I don't. That kind of stuff is disgusting. Then again, I also don't get
Wood chipper.
I don't get the appeal of porn in the first place, so
I can't say anything. Well,
I can't say anything. I have a subscription to Pornhub.
I don't pay for that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't really understand porn at all. Like, I've had this conversation with a lot of people. I make lewd jokes all the time, and people are like, "Oh, you must be a gooner." No, I'm not. I don't find it appealing to me.
Remove it from your life. You will be happier.
I've never ever found it appealing. People pay. Yes, people pay for Pornhub. I just never found that kind of material that appealing. I don't know why. Maybe I'm fucking broken. Maybe there's something wrong with me. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. And this is coming from somebody that has hentai games that would literally play hentai games to annoy the hell out of his bosses. I would literally do it during Zoom calls when they would have me on my personal computer answering questions to Japanese and American engineers. Because our Zoom call setup would have it showing what you have open. Which is the entire reason I have Blush Blush.
What's that?
Gay clicker hentai. Gay furry clicker hentai. Literally had it just to annoy the hell out of my bosses.
Hey boss, look at this level I just got to. God damn it, Jackie!
It's like, has Excel spreadsheet open. Has Excel. Jackie has Blush open.
I have a friend who's bisexual, and in the previous job he was in that he left, he said his boss was like very homophobic, and he said my friend's bi, but he isn't, woke. He doesn't like any of like the woke shit and the pride and LGBT crap. And his boss one day gave him a pin. It was like a little pride badge, and he's like, "What the fuck are you giving me this for?" And his boss was like, "Well, you're a faggot, aren't you?"
So I didn't
I
have
don't
a
know.
boss like
That's kind of hilarious.
I didn't have a boss like that. I did have a boss that purposely kept changing the footer of my email to have my fucking pronouns in it. And it annoyed the
Yeah.
shit out of me because it's like I don't really give a shit if my pronouns are in the fucking sign off of my email. It just
You know
needs,
Prey, right?
yeah.
From iServe, but when she was in hospital, this was, I think, just before COVID. She was in hospital for something. And she's a very anti-woke shit. She's very like right wing, but she's trans. And she said when she was in the hospital, the nurses were constantly like, "Oh, we need to know your pronouns." She's like, "I don't give a shit," or whatever. No, 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 no. We need to know. You don't understand. We need to know your pronouns. And she's like, "I don't give a shit." And they were like, "No, we'll lose our jobs. Please tell us your pronouns."
No,
It
it
annoyed us
was
so much.
so it wasn't that nobody in the organization knew. They all knew. They all know me, right? They all know everything or new things about me. The funny thing about it is like it would go from Jacqueline Wolf, lead robotics technician, to Jacqueline Wolf, she her, lead robotics technician and LGBT advocate. Just randomly. And then I would change it back. Just to have it change back. The CEO of the CEO of the company wrote an email to the HR department and told them that if they keep changing the footer of my fucking email, they would have a problem. Because the Japanese understood that I view it like I don't care, you know? Like, it's really weird to me. Like, my Japanese bosses at that company were all extremely respectful about it.
Yeah.
Um, because obviously new halves are a thing in their culture. So they were fine with it. They didn't care. I'm just another person to them. The American side of my bosses, oh my fucking god. I would sit in a meeting, right, with the other officers and shit like that. And it's like fucking pussyfooting around or pushing. Jackie says that she has noticed, and I'm like, can you just say Jackie has noticed? I don't really give a fuck about this she shit. Just say Jackie. Fuck it. I know what I am. I don't need to be
If you had
reminded
any kind of
constantly.
chill about it, it'd just be like, alright, so, lead robotics faggot has noticed.
That was actually my 2 weeks notice. Lead robotics faggot. I, Jacqueline Wolf, lead robotics faggot, have decided that I can no longer work in this company.
My favorite way to quit is that I walked into the office in the fucking call center I worked at and said I want to quit. They said we want it in writing. I said, give me a sheet of paper. They gave me a sheet of paper and a pen. I wrote, I quit on it.
Oh no!
Which annoyed me because I should have went in and just done my entire shift, got paid for the day. But I should have just went in, gave every single person credits, and when they asked me about it, just said fuck off.
Well, no,
But no, I wanted to have a nice exit thing. Bleh, fuck that.
no, I actually did the whole 2 weeks notice thing. I trained my replacement who got fired right after I quit. I put in a 4-page document that was my 2 weeks notice, which listed everything that I had to say about the company, the good things, and all of my grievances towards the company.
My favorite was one of the managers that quit and he left a 3-page thing describing everything that he didn't like about everybody.
Oh no,
I just started, so he'd barely known me.
my last day, the people that managed the different departments had me walk by and say goodbye to all of my different coworkers and shit like that.
Uh, hey, quick question. Do you know who Assistant District Attorney Ian Kirsting was?
No, why? Is he the one that just
Another
died?
Clinton. Yep,
I haven't looked
apparent
into that.
suicide.
I haven't had time to look into that. That's probably going to be the next Jackie Cast, America's Most Redacted News Network.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm working on a stack for that one. But
One of those apparent suicides where he found like 3 gunshots to the back of the head and his hands tied behind his back.
But yeah, no.
Pretty impressive how all these people managed to shoot themselves in the back of the head. I mean,
Look,
are you all gymnasts over there? You're all like, what they call them, contortionists?
look. When I finally decide to commit Sudoku, the world will know when I commit Sudoku.
You made that sound like you've got a dead man's switch ready to blow up a building or something.
Mhm. Look, I am a very big believer in certain things. If you're
I don't
going
like how you didn't say no there, you just went silent for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna search the house.
Have fun. Oh, by the way, please do not touch the camera in your shower.
We just got it adjusted at the right height.
We just installed the new 4K Ultra HD version. Look,
I see what you're doing there. Filthy.
Filthy and disgusting.
Do it again.
No, when it comes down to it, I don't have a dead man switch. I don't have any of that kind of thing. I'm just going to make sure it makes front page news. Because I would never do such a thing. I would never commit suicide. I am 100%.
You remember, what was it, that
not serious.
McAfee guy? Where he allegedly commits suicide, but then everyone's like, no, because before it happened, he got a tattoo to prove that he would never commit suicide. I'm like, how you can still kill yourself after you get a tattoo? I don't understand what that proves. I'm not saying I don't believe that something might have happened to him, but I don't get how the tattoo proves he didn't kill himself. Because you can get a tattoo saying I won't do something and then still do it.
Okay, so in order to figure out the mystery that is John McAfee, you need to research John McAfee. Who, by the way, is making accurate predictions after dying. John McAfee is probably one of the smartest people to ever exist. And I'm saying this because do you know the lore of John McAfee?
I know some rumours about what he got up to with some prostitutes.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a Tuesday.
I'm just saying,
Did you ever
you
hear
know,
about,
I wouldn't do those things.
Did you ever hear about John McAfee's first job?
No.
So he goes into the job interview, and of course, the guy behind the desk goes, well, are you on any kind of drugs? John McAfee proceeds to say, currently.
I do know that he completely sold the antivirus thing, so he had nothing to do with it anymore. But he still got hate mail for years of people complaining about the antivirus, and he's like, mate, it's got nothing to do with me anymore.
He also hacked Apple multiple times. John
I mean, that's
McAfee
just
was John McAfee was brilliant, but he was also insane. By the way, John McAfee believed in anarchy. He ran on the
my generation.
he ran on the libertarian ticket so many times. The dude was insane. Oh, and the dude went bankrupt 3 times just to turn around and get all of his money back from being bankrupt.
Definition of
Was that
fuck you, I do it myself.
No, all of his companies he built from the ground up. He was a genius. Also extremely eccentric.
Also true.
There's not many people like John McAfee out there in the world anymore.
Not now.
Mostly because the world
I don't think the world can handle.
I don't. I really don't think the world can handle multiple McAfees.
Well, there isn't one.
There probably is, and we probably haven't met him yet.
He never died, he was just reborn.
That would surprise me. No, what it is, John McAfee and David Bowie are actually both on the Starship.
David Bowie. God damn it.
God damn it, they killed my body.
They got this iteration, the little shits.
Do you remember? Because Bowie used to have loads of throughout his career, he'd switch between different characters. Like he had Ziggy Stardust, and when he got to the Pale White Duke, and it was like a far right neo-Nazi guy, and he'd literally go on like talk shows and interviews and just spew the most like insane shit. Like, I remember one interview. Again, he's in character all the time. So when he's the Pale White Duke, he's this evil, very bigoted guy. And he's like, I think they asked him some question about like gay rights or something. And he's like, I think we need, a right-wing uprising to just wash the streets clean. He'd say like shit like that on TV. Obviously playing a character, but he's like, gee.
Actually, the joke about David Bowie as Ziggy Stardust was actually David Bowie. David Bowie was the Starman. Starman, way up in the sky. He'd like to, but he thinks he'll blow our mind. He's a Starman.
In a movie with him in it called The Prestige, it was pretty good. He plays Tesla.
Yeah. He also played the guy in Labyrinth.
Yes, I've seen that as well. I completely forgot about that. He mentioned it. But yeah, the Goblin King.
Mm-hmm.
Who I'm certain that Astarion is inspired by because he's very similar. Like he's just general person. I like the look of him and the way he speaks.
The thing about David Bowie is I'm fairly certain David Bowie would have played the bad guy in Venture Brothers.
Oh yeah, he definitely would have played the Sovereign. He would have been the Sovereign 100%. He would have been all over that shit.
Well, it's because it's the true David Bowie story, though. Like, do you ever hear about the first sci-fi writers, right? I don't mean like the pulp sci-fi, but the first people to actually make like sci-fi series that made a shit ton of money in book form.
There was a space opera written in ancient Greece.
Yes, but I'm talking about like of modern era. Supposedly, the story for one of the first very popular sci-fi stories is this pulp writer is sitting outside of a fucking hamburger joint, right? He's eating a sandwich. He's just sitting there on the fucking sidewalk because he's broke because pulp writers don't make a lot of money. And this British dude just comes, sits down beside him, starts chewing the shit, you know? and they're
Yeah.
talking about it, and it gets to, well, what do you do? And or the British guy goes, well, I'm a songwriter. I write songs. And he goes, well, that's pretty cool. And he goes, well, how much money is that? He goes, well, I own everything that I produce, so it makes me
Huh.
money. And the writer goes, well, I can't do that. I'm just a book writer. And he goes, well, see, that's where you're thinking wrong. You should be putting out your own stuff under your own name. Fuck the corporations, Matt. And he realized something like 5 years later when he was at a concert after the launch of his first big series that he had been talking to David Bowie. So supposedly David Bowie is the reason that sci-fi got so big.
Hmm.
I don't know why that reminds me of the story of. Okay, so this is an American TV show. There's a guy who's like teleporting to different points in time, and he's inhabiting different bodies in each time period. And there's an episode where he's in library where the guy who shoots Kennedy is, and he's trying to stop the guy from shooting Kennedy, but he's in this episode he's intangible. He can't interact with the guy at all. And the reason the writer wrote that episode is because one point he met a guy in the park who was spewing like communist stuff. And he went up and challenged him, and they got into a big heated argument and very nearly got into an actual physical fight. But he thought, no, fuck this guy, he's not worth it. He went home. Then after Kennedy died, he realised that guy he nearly fought in the park was Oswald.
Hmm.
So that
So
episode where the protagonist of the show is powerless to stop the sniper from shooting Kennedy was like a reference to him, like thinking, oh, I was there the day before with Oswald. I could have done something then, but I had no idea he was, kill a president the next day.
well, see, the thing is there's a lot of weird stuff about Oswald.
Hmm.
Apparently, he was not as much of a communist as we're told he is.
Well, okay, so Oswald, I think, absolutely was MK Ultra by the CIA, right? Because after he was arrested, CIA guy then killed him. That CIA guy was then arrested, and then another CIA guy visited him in prison, and ever since that visit, he's been a babbling, incoherent moron. It's reckoned that the other agent that went to see him probably injected him with something and like lobotomized him so he couldn't talk.
You're talking about Jack Ruby. And I don't think he was a CIA agent. He was actually. Oswald's story is really weird. So was Sirhan's story, actually.
Almost like you know, alphabet agencies are responsible for a lot more than we know.
So, have you ever heard.
Um,
You've heard about Robert Kennedy's assassination, right? JFK's brother.
that's I've only heard it like mentioned offhandedly when those seers talk about the current Kennedy guy with the speech problem.
Yeah, that's Robert's son.
Yeah.
Um, Robert Kennedy was killed literally in the worst place to ever kill anybody. He was killed in front of a lot of people. The thing about the person that assassinated Robert Kennedy was he was a Robert Kennedy supporter. Yeah.
They say the guy who shot John Lennon was a huge fan.
He's a phone. That's actually where that meme comes from. He's a phony. He's a fake. That would be Dan Chapman. He's a phony. He's a fake. Who was from Hawaii? No, a lot of times there's more to a story than you are let to know when it comes to those kind of things. But my thing
Yeah.
with my amusing little thing with David Bowie is David Bowie literally would show up in random places and people would not recognize David Bowie because David Bowie liked being just this random person giving people advice. Apparently, Could you imagine that shit though? Like you're one of the most famous rock stars of all time, and you're able to blend in with a crowd.
Well, that's to me like those are the kind of people I do like, the ones that still live like normal people. Like the you seen the meme of like Keanu, or it's like people saying like, Keanu Reeves will often be seen like around New York just buying food from like normal affordable places rather than being in like the fancy restaurants. He lives in a regular apartment. He's just a normal guy. I've also seen a video of the guy who plays what's his name, the bad sensei in Karate Kid is in Cobra Kai as well. The actor who played him. So some fans met him in a shoe store. He got in there to get his shoes repaired, and like he's an actor from a famous film. You would imagine a rich celebrity would just throw the shoes in the bin and buy some new ones, but he goes to get his shoes fixed. Like there's something just really normal and human about that. Like they're the ones that I respect. The ones that just
Well,
like very clearly normal people.
in Keanu Reeves's case, one of the weird things about Keanu Reeves most people don't realize. Keanu Reeves's first major movie, he couldn't read the script.
Is he
Keanu Reeves,
illiterate?
sort of, he has a learning disability.
Yeah.
But what made Keanu interesting to a lot of filmmakers is that he would constantly try. He would push himself, like, say he couldn't read the dialogue for this particular scene in a movie, right? He would push himself to get better at reading just so he could read the dialogue. Keanu Reeves wasn't born in the United States, by the way. He's African.
My favourite manga artist who made the manga Blam, which is spelled blame, but it's not the English word blame. He was illiterate as a kid. Because if you ever read Blame, it's basically mostly just scenic shots of the character walking through this giant megacity, and there'll be combat. There's not much dialogue and story, and he leaves it up to your own interpretation. And the reason is, he said when he was a kid, he was illiterate, he couldn't read. So when he would read comic books, he would essentially just look at it for the pictures, and he would fill in the dialogue in his own head and kind of make up in his head what the story is. And that's how he'd interpret pretty much anything, and so that became his style of writing stories. Leaves it mostly up to you to interpret what's going on.
Apparently, Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut.
Beirut?
Yeah, Beirut, Lebanon.
That's still in Africa.
And you're gonna love this. Guess what his citizenship is?
What?
3 guesses. First 2 don't count.
I'm gonna say Lebanese.
Incorrect.
St. Ives.
Incorrect. Canadian.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's right. He's a leaf.
He's a leaf. He's an imported leaf.
Yeah, that sounds about right for my country.
No, I love Keanu. He's cool.
Yeah. He's calling that one film they made
Lebanon
called
is
The
West
Matrix that
Asia,
had no sequel.
not Africa. Thank you. Look, I'm not that great on a map. Although I could.
What, Americans? Americans not being good at geography? Oh no. The day ending in Y.
Look,
Never
we're not gonna.
Canada and the Gulf War. America, hey Canada, you want to come to the Gulf War? No. Oh, come on, you gotta come. We don't know where it is.
Look, the thing with American geography is we only care about it if there's oil there.
I think my favorite was that Tim Nutt made the best joke ever. He goes, okay, listen, if America came over there and beat them, okay? At that point, you should just apologize. Why? Because, okay, so here's the thing. So me and my neighbor are having a dispute, and in the middle of the night, I go over and I kick his lawn gnomes over. In the morning, my neighbor wakes up and sees his lawn gnomes kicked over and attacks me from space. At that point, I'd just go back over and set the gnomes up and apologize.
No, I think the greatest thing I've ever heard about it is don't piss off America. They won't be able to, or they don't know where you're at, but they will kick your door in.
I don't know where you're at. They don't need to know where you're at. Eventually, they're just going to carpet bomb until they figure, you know what? As long as it's not America, it's fine.
The only countries that America know where they are, or Americans know where are the ones that contain oil.
Or anime. Europe's kind of a cross between we don't really have to care, but why are we there?
90% of Americans
Still
can't.
find it funny that like the Americans that still don't get the English language came from Britain. I don't know that England is a real
American.
place. Like I've seen, you've seen the meme. It's like someone saying, "Why do British people speak English, an American language, instead of some European one?"
Well, it's because American English and British English are very different dialects.
Well, it's the same reason why people here have asked why I don't speak French. I can, I just prefer not to. But my reasoning is that I always look at them and go, because we won the war. And the reason why everybody speaks America and not proper British English is they won the war.
Do you know why American spellings are so weird? The actual
Because they won the war.
No, it's not because of we winning the war or anything like that.
No one could afford it. No one could afford an S.
I'm trying to figure out, like color, how in the U.S. it's COL.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you're illiterate.
No, it actually has to do with newspaper print.
Oh, God damn it! It was just because they didn't want to use, did they?
No, it wasn't that at all. It was cheaper not to add the U.
That's what I mean. Same pronunciation, but U costs an extra letter. And my God, that extra letter is a cent on the dollar. Spiraling into the corporate cronyism we have today.
Yes, the American dialect is also based because it depends on what part of the American dialect you're talking about. On an older dialect of English.
In other words,
yeah, because there is a point in time where British and American English were very similar.
Because you people refuse to put a U in, we have Silicon Valley. This is all your fault.
Well, it's like there was a point in time where in America we used the term rubbish and the British used trash.
Either way around now.
Yeah. Yeah. We would say, you know, we would say weird stuff like bins and shit like that instead of cans or containers.
Just bends over here.
The British would say can, container. Hell, if you go back far enough, the Americans said tin. When it meant anything canned, it would be a tin.
That's what it is over here.
It wasn't originally.
We don't say canned food, it's tin food.
Yes, but it wasn't originally. It's one of those weird things when it comes to American and British English.
Oh, hey, you got a new model.
It's a temporary model.
Fuzzy ears.
I like the fuzzy ears. I'm planning on keeping those.
Fuzzy.
I actually made those ears.
Fuzzy.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of weirdness that goes with the English. Like, um, American English we currently call fall, but in Britain it's autumn. But if you go back to the Revolutionary period, the British were more likely to call it fall, and the Americans were more likely to call it autumn. Go figure. I only learned this because I watch a British linguist for some ungodly reason. And he says that it's just a lot of weirdness with how our languages develop split from each other.
I found chips.
Also, believe it or not, Canadian English and American English are very different dialects.
Yup.
And Australian English is an extremely different dialect.
What do you expect from criminals?
Yeah, but I just imagine the Australians in World War One. Hey, cunt, you want to go steal that tank? God, that is probably my favorite time period because World War One, you had the Canadians doing war crimes, you had the Australians stealing shit, you had the Americans going, "We don't know what we're doing, but we will shoot at it anyway," and the British doing the one thing the British have always been good at: deer grid coordinates.
During the Falklands War, because obviously it was us versus Argentina, both sides used the foul rifle. But a lot of the veterans say as soon as they killed a bunch of the Argentinians, they would steal their fouls because theirs were fully automatic and ours were only semi-automatic.
Yes,
When the enemy has better guns.
but that's the thing. Like you look at like World War One, right? The British were doing what the British were good at: engineering and artillery. The Americans were doing what we're good at: shooting. We're really good at shooting. Who guessed? In fact, the American infantry were literally just a bunch of soldiers we sent with hunting rifles.
No, that was your Olympics committee.
There's a difference.
Have you ever seen the training video that was given to American troops who were going to be posted in Britain about how we treat black people differently over here? It's literally, they show a scenario where it's like two American
My lawyer
troops
has advised me that I am not allowed to continue with this job.
arrive in Britain, and this old British lady like says hello to both of them and says, "Oh, you look like nice young men. You come here to see Britain. That's very nice." And then like the American like sergeant guy, he cuts the sergeant guy saying, "Now, you probably noticed that woman was just as nice to the white men as she was to the black men. Now I know that's not how it is back home, but you got to understand people are very different here."
No. You want me to tell you what my favorite freaking training videos of all time is? Old gun training videos from the 1940s to about the 1970s. It is important to have a loaded round in the chamber and cocked at all times. Keep your finger on the trigger. Yeah, no. This is the
Safety
M19.
improves after the mistakes are made.
Well, there was a point in time where the United States was like, okay, do we give cops fully automatic weapons? Yes, we do. We just give every cop a fully automatic weapon. That was a great idea. That's what happened to Bonnie and Clyde, by the way. They got BA art. Yeah, no. America does improve over time. We try to. We try to fix the scars of our past.
Just learnt this.
We
Russia in
try.
general.
Revenge of the Sith, saying that Captain Nita from The Empire Strikes Back was the author trying to talk down Grievous's ship during the Battle of Coruscant is crazy. But it means Darth Vader executed the equivalent of a D-Day hero in front of his guys to save face. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Darth Vader is not a good guy, man. The thing about
Crazy
this,
guy, man.
look, sometimes you gotta kill a war hero. And had he had his way, Stalin would have killed Admiral Zhukov.
Yeah, it sounds about
Excuse
right
me,
for Stalin.
Grand Marshal Zhukov.
I'm assuming you guys have seen the Death of Stalin, right?
It's a great movie. Highly recommend it.
Movie. Have you seen it, Duke? Is Duke dead? If we kill Duke?
You've killed Took. It is all your fault.
Oh.
Is he alive? Have you seen the movie, The Death of Stalin?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, the fact that because it's a comedic recreation, they deliberately chose to have none of the actors even attempt to put on Russian accents. They'll all speak in their own accent. And the fact that Zhukov is just this like Cockney Londoner, it's like, right lads, I may look happy right now, but I'm really pissed off.
I might be smiling, but I can assure you, I'm very fucking angry.
Actually, you want me to tell
He
you my
comes in
favorite?
with the AKs hidden in his jacket, like, right lads, dates for tonight, and he's one of the guys like, I'll have the tall blonde.
My favorite is just when he just goes, I'm gonna have to report this conversation. Threatening to any member of Presidium, but look at your fucking face.
No,
I love the fact that everyone in the movie puts up with Stalin's son because they're all terrified of, what would happen to them if they do anything. Zhukov just comes in and decks him.
Well,
It's like, I'm not
actually,
putting up with your shit.
everybody hated Stalin's son because he was a violent alcoholic and no one liked
But
him.
you
He fucked
couldn't
up every
say
job.
anything or do anything
Oh no, they
because it's
did all the
Stalin's
time.
son.
no,
Like the fact that he was in charge of the Olympic hockey team. They all died in an accident. He covered it up, and his dad just never noticed.
no, you want me to tell you what my favorite piece of Russian propaganda is? The hunt for
Them
Everything's
having food.
okay.
the hunt for Red October.
Yes, you've said this.
And the whole reason for this is because a Russian stealth submarine actually being stealthy.
Yeah. Still my favorite. Still my absolute favorite. I'm Sean Connery, a Russian submarine commander.
What province of the Soviet Russia are you from? Soviet Scotland.
Soviet Highlands. I'm not,
They were.
not
I
Persian,
remember
I'm Egyptian.
watching. I think it was an interview with, was it Baldwin, where he was saying like he was actually really scared to be in that film because it was made while the Cold War was still a thing, the Soviet Union was still a thing. And he's like, they were making, I was going to be in a film that's all about people defecting from the Soviet Union. Whilst the Soviet Union still existed, we were in a Cold War with them.
Yeah, and it's about
He
an
was
actual.
pretty scared about that movie.
It was about an actual event that happened, but the thing with the Red October is the true story of the Red October is the Americans knew all about the Red October because the Soviets weren't very good at keeping things hidden. The Americans knew when the Red October launched the first time because we could hear it on sonar as far away as Hawaii.
Starts it up. The Russians are doing something.
Starts it up. Hold on, sir. We have a Russian submarine. Where is it at?
Yes.
Yes. It was. The commander of the Red October had took over control of the ship and wanted to defect anyway because he was fearful of his life.
Almost like communist regimes always end up killing anybody that doesn't agree with them.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how communism works, isn't it?
Communism and work shouldn't be in the same sentence.
You disagree with the Kremlin. We will achieve communism before the Americans. I don't know. You've seen the shit that I've pulled in Workers and Resources Soviet Union or Soviet work, whatever it was called. The Soviet game builder, where I built a completely working Soviet economy by the grand the grand industrialization of nothing but farms, alcohol, and fucking coal. That's right, guys. If you can feed your people, get them drunk, and make them work in a coal mine, that's how communism works. You were there. You're not writing the poetry. It was pick
I
at
was
me.
going to be
I
some tri-spirited freeform
I
poetry writer. Why can't
still
I do this?
I still believe that the COVID lockdowns were an attempt to prep us for life under socialism. Because if you remember, I don't know if you had this over in the US, but in Britain, you were banned from buying anything other than bread, milk, and cheese. And they said because that's the essentials, you should only go to the shops for the essentials. If you had anything else, the police were waiting outside of supermarkets, checking everyone's bags. And for every item that wasn't bread, milk, or cheese, they would fine you. And I think that was trying to
Uh,
prep us for living under socialism, where they had this idea that people only need the bare essentials and they will be completely content, and that's all they need to be provided with. They're just a workforce. I
You're
think
talking about
I believe that was trying to prep us for it.
why the fuck
you.
can I hear Papers, Please in the background?
I don't know. You're talking about during World War II, right?
No, this was COVID, the lockdowns.
This is all
Okay.
I can hear is him just going, like him describing everything that's going on in Britain, and all I can hear is the fucking thing of Papers, Please, just dun dun.
That literally is the communist mindset. People only need the bare essentials to survive. Like the bare essential types of food you need, which apparently humans can live on just bread, milk, and cheese. And you don't
No,
need anything else, and you can live on that. And that's all the state needs to give you. And you will just work and produce money and be the perfect communist man.
things that I don't need to hear in my lifetime. The state needs to give me anything.
Well,
No,
shit.
it's like it's
I actually thought you were talking about World War II Britain because that was a thing in World War II Britain.
well, that
Yeah,
was because we
rationing.
couldn't import anything because we're on an island.
Yeah, but you want to know
We
what's
had
even
to
funnier
ration
than
to survive.
you know what's even funnier than that? The rations were stricter in America. The
Actually,
reason
the
we
rations were better in America.
no, do you know the reason why we have corn syrup and everything in the U.S.? The actual reason?
All your farmers grow corn.
No, no. The bombs that we produced in World War II required sugar. Sugar became a controlled commodity. So, for everybody to figure out how to make sweet things without sugar, they started using corn syrup. Because corn
Yeah.
was not controlled at
Here's
the
a fun
time.
bit. There's a guy on YouTube, Max Miller, runs a thing called Tasting History. Has an entire series about what the home fronts ate during World War II.
Hmm?
Rationing was stricter in England because they had less access due to the Battle of the Atlantic. However, rationing did make it over to the Americas, where they did begin to ration much the same sort of things. However, the Americas had greater variety due to bigger landmass.
This is true.
Actually, the reason that British food today is laughed at by like Americans, it's such a meme because it's so simple. Like things like beans on toast and shit like
Because
that.
it's
It's
all you guys
because
had during World War II.
yeah, but the problem thing is the generation growing up during that time, that's what their parents would have fed them. So that's all they know. So then they make that for their children, and they make that for their children.
Yeah,
British
and then
cuisine
you
just
have a bunch
became
of
that.
then, well, which is sad because British cuisine is stuff like meat pies and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meat pies,
Well,
pasties, jellied eels, mashed potatoes, gravy. The stuff that the Americans basically imported.
well, actually, American mashed potatoes are based off chump, which is an Irish dish, but yeah.
Lady.
It's based off the Irish version of fucking mashed potatoes for some reason. We just removed the onion or the chives and garlic for whatever reason.
Which is really sad because onions and garlic are very healthy for you.
No.
And that's another thing when people say, "Oh, you don't need, you don't put any spices in your food."
Yeah. No, American cuisine's actually really weird because a lot of our famous foods come out of the Great Depression.
Huh.
Yeah. Our famous
Well, not
foods are
all of them. There's a bunch of them. I still find it funny that Al Capone contributed
to the society during the Great Depression, almost more than the American government did.
Why do you think they locked him up in Alcatraz?
I think it was in the
Well,
Countdown
a
Killers
good
video I
portion
did
of
on.
the, murders would probably do it.
No, actually, he got off scot-free on all the murder charges.
Oh, I know. He got nailed by tax evasion.
The only thing that could take down Scarface, the IRS.
Apparently, he's the reason we have best before dates. and stuff,
Yes, he
because-
instituted best before dates, which
yeah,
hilariously enough
because
are completely
someone in his
arbitrary.
family got ill because of drinking milk that had gone off.
His grandmother,
Yeah.
which he then instituted that law. However, best before dates are a guess. They didn't mean nothing.
Do you want to know another fun one? So, Al Capone had a lawyer named, I think it was Bobby O'Hare, is what he went by. He was an Irish lawyer. He was from Missouri. He had a fat fuck son named, I think it's Richard O'Hare. It's the one that O'Hare Airport in Chicago is named after. They literally forced this kid to exercise by sending him into the military, where he decides to become a combat ace. All because he didn't want to be like his dad.
Yeah.
But he grew up, constantly around Scarface. Could you imagine that shit? Actually, some of the most
Imagine
famous...
how that's gonna come out.
A lot of the most famous Marines and stuff that push for, Iwo Jima and stuff, they grew up in, very poor places in the world.
Yeah. Turns out that if you grow up having to survive your entire time, that you make a really good soldier.
Oh no, there was a point in time the U.S. Marine Corps would push to find people that grew up in these poverty-stricken places in the U.S. because they would know how to fight. They were scrappy kids.
Yeah, it's almost like, adversity brings tough people.
Well, that and the Marines are an expeditionary force.
And so much as that you want something destroyed, on fire, or pregnant.
That's the modern Marines.
It's just been the Marine. Let's be fair. Throughout history, the general driving consensus of most armies is, let's get their shit.
I still love the first battle the Marines were involved in. Which is, Tripoli.
Ah, yes. Fuck these guys and their goddamn bullshit.
Right. Do you know how many actual Marines were in the first battle of the Marines?
Wasn't it 3 guys that took over a ship that had been taken earlier?
No. We had 9 whole Marines. 9. They went and got Turks and Greeks to, not fight each other in order to push the Barbary Coast pirates out of Tripoli and Damascus. It's the Carlos Mencia joke about the, America dropping 2 bomb. Japan, we drop all these bombs on Pearl Harbor. 1,000 bomb. Destroy mini ship. America retaliate by dropping 2 bomb. Destroy half their infrastructure.
We sank 3 boats. They dropped the sun on us twice.
Do not fuck with America. I feel like the fucking Ottoman, or the people that had studied the Ottoman Empire were calling Japan at that point going, do you really want to fucking do that?
Whatever you done to it?
Do you really want to do that? You're talking about a country that sent not fucking an entire force, but 9 guys and a fucking donkey into a war-torn area of the world, unified the Greeks and the Turks, and kicked our asses. While their navy of 4 ships, not 100 ships, 4 fucking ships, gave us hell.
We'll be back in a sec.
I love American history because it reads like somebody pissed off America. America unifies. America goes and kicks their asses or for no apparent reason. America returns home. What was it? The French, when they first met American Marines. We are retreating, the American Marines, but we only just got here.
We are retreating. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Or the fact that one of the battle cries of the U.S. Marines is literally, "Do you want to live forever?"
Ah, yes, said during World War One.
Come on, lads, do you want to live forever? Marines, they are living ammunition.
Marines. Said a thing, watch things go die.
That being said, I am actually good friends with several Marines. The reason
I'm glad to hear that you do indeed work with the mentally disabled.
Hey, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have a Marine in a fight than, most police officers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because that Marine's not going to stop.
No.
Another one of my favorite tactics from history is it annoyed the hell out of the British and the fucking French because when their commanding units would die, they would just automatically fall back and retreat. When American Marines leadership dies, another Marine would just stand up and go, "I am the leader now."
I've become alpha retard! He didn't even die to enemy fire. He just fell over and hit his head.
Sir, the gunny's not dead.
He's unconscious.
I've become temporary leader retard. Forward, men! For the gunny. I'm talking about how the Marines are set up in the United States. It's an amazing thing. Marines are taught that if their squad leader is killed, the next one assumes command.
Default to immediate aggression.
Yes. If the United States Navy decides that they really hate a country, they just point at the Marines and go, "They stole your crayons." The United States Navy has never lost a ground engagement. We actually the U.S. Navy hasn't never lost a ground engagement. We just fire our artillery, planes, rockets, and Marines at the problem. We sank a mountain. Favorite story of the Korean conflict. North Koreans thought they'd be cheeky and shot at Big Whiskey. Big Whiskey sinks a mountain. Don't touch the boats, motherfucker.
Touch the boats. Go ahead. See how it goes.
I just love the fact that her fucking escort destroyer messaged temper.
Temper. Message back, fuck off. We can't do that, sir. Do it anyway.
No, could you imagine being the fucking captain of that ship? Like, they scratched the paint on my goddamn boat. They scratched the paint on my goddamn boat. fire. I want that mountain to not exist.
Is that scene from Space King? Pink flicks the paint off. I'm gonna bomb the whole planet.
That is America in a nutshell. We will fight with each other, very, very much leaving the rest of the world alone. If you fuckers would stop touching our goddamn boats.
Canada, I didn't start it, but I'm gonna fucking finish it.
America, we're generally idiots screaming at each other, trying to kill each other until somebody tries to kill us.
Stages of American aggression. All right, we've got to step. We're gonna pay somebody else to do it. Stage 4. Stage 3. All right, I guess we're gonna have to do something about this by doing, something indirect, but having people train there. Stage 2. All right, fine. I guess we're getting involved. Stage 1. All right, fun Canada.
You know, if there's ever a World War III, I'm just going to say we're getting the boys back together.
The boys are back in town to the tune of nuclear detonation. Yeah, it'll be a fun war, all 20 minutes of it.
What happened? They pissed off the United States. Okay, they pissed off the
No,
United
some
States.
idiot hit a button and now we're all fucked.
No, it just ends up being they pissed off the United States. Okay, they pissed off the United States. What happened? Well, you know, if the United States gets involved, Australia's getting involved. Why? Well, for some
We've
reason,
taken over the Commonwealth.
for some reason, the Australians really love their cousins in the States. Ah, cool. And the Canadians, well, they stopped saying sorry, and they're very much involved. They said they had some hockey aggression to get out. We don't know what that means.
But we have had several requests from Geneva for, and I quote, revisions.
Okay, well, what about the British? Well, the British are doing what they're really good at. What's that? Standing way over
Paperwork.
there. Standing way over there, going, dear grid coordinates. Also, they're, for some reason, digging tunnels under entire cities. We haven't figured that one out yet. I would just like to remind chat that the British, in World War One, changed the landscape of Germany. They didn't know if it'd work. They didn't know if it'd work, but they did change the landscape. Yeah. The British Engineering Corps used to be one of the scariest things on Earth. You had American riflemen. You had Canadian war crime experts.
The good old days.
You had your Australians who were stealing everything on the battlefield because that's what Australians do. I love my crime or my criminals. It's a beautiful country.
Magnificent times.
And I sit there and go, do you really want to bring back that kind of... You want to bring back that world, really? You keep talking about World War III. Do you really want that world to come back? Because we will let the Canadians off the leash. We will tell them the Geneva Convention no longer applies.
Oh my god, Coop's full name for Megas XLR is Harold Kuplowski.
Yes.
I did not know that.
What's Jamie's full name? Oh, come on. Coop is obviously a Kuplowski.
Give me a second. I had to get out of
But yeah. No, we're the times of war. Do you really want to bring that back upon yourself? God, could you imagine? We launched 300 nuclear missiles, and the Americans still showed up and beat our asses. They ran out of bullets halfway through. They just started beating us with sticks. Yes, Shadow, I am pointing out that the United States is only unified in anything during warfare. Because if you make us mad enough, we will hate you
His
more than
official
we
weight
hate
is
you.
over 300 pounds, and he stands at 6'6".
Yeah.
This dude is a fucking unit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fucking game. Or he's a fucking.
Jamie's full name is just Jamie.
Damn. He's a fucking unit.
And Kiva's is Kiva Andrew. I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coop is a fucking unit. He is just built different.
He's 6'6", over 300 pounds. There's a lot of.
You ever seen that dude's fucking? You ever seen his goddamn fucking his diet?
Hoagies. Lots of hoagies.
No. That there's an episode where he's in a food eating contest and he's telling Kiva, he goes, "It takes many years of training to get this kind of refined appetite." And it does like a flashback, and this motherfucker's just drinking smoothies the moment they're done from the goddamn smoothie machine.
Yep. Yeah. No. I mean, that's fucking. I love Megas XLR. I'm going to be honest with you because Coop is.
Oh, so good. Just that, and the guy's hatred of MTV is so strong.
It's every
Destroys
episode.
an MTV thing every episode.
I think my favorite one's when they destroy the smoothie machine. There's one.
Oh my god. It's the second one. The second episode. Yeah, there's one in Hoboken. Yeah, but that's Hoboken. Like, they destroyed an entire city, but it's too much effort, even though they can cross the galaxy in a day to go to Hoboken. They just hate Hoboken that much.
God, could you imagine Megas XLR's version of New Jersey or fucking? Yeah, it's Jersey. It's specifically Philly. It's Philly, New Jersey.
Yeah, but the construction companies would be the fucking richest bastards.
Yeah, but just imagine how all the people feel. There's a robot with a car for a head.
Right, that episode is because the fucking Sentai or Super Sentai guys think he's a bad guy because he ends up destroying everything every episode.
I am Regis, 2000.
Jesus. If he keeps eating like this, Coop's gonna be too sick to go through the training sequences I programmed into Megan. Don't sweat it. Coop doesn't get less sick. Or Coop doesn't get sick. He just gets less hungry.
That is a classic show that we will have to waterboard Shadow with.
Oh my god, how many fucking... He gets through like 100 fucking hot dogs.
Yeah.
And he's still hungry.
Yeah.
What a beast. Like, they give them a tub of butter, like melted butter. He tosses all of his hot dogs in there and just chugs that.
What do you expect from a guy that plays video games all the time and knows a lot about cars?
What a fucking beast.
A guy that, did so much custom work to a robot from the future that Kiva can't drive it.
Wait. Hold on. As Elaine forced to remove outfits to comply with Google's censorship requirement, what has Google got to do with the game?
So, the Play Store is now censoring games. Another fun thing about the Play Store is that if you get Mine's app from the Play Store, you get the censored version of Mine's app from the Play Store. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
They go to take away his fucking hot dogs because he's already won. He hasn't even noticed they put the crown on him. They go to grab the hot dogs. Hey, I'm not done yet.
living here in Yeah, no, that is definitely something we need to do for waterboard night.
Yes.
Except I think we need to do it on the public Discord.
Fuck yeah, I'd do that.
Because I think it would be funny as hell.
Yeah, this motherfucker's just dipping a chocolate bar into ice cream and chewing on that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I was gonna fix that. Or the episode where he buys a video game he's never played, but it turns out to be a monster.
Oh my god. Yes, it's the intergalactic prison episode. I love that one.
I have
I've
no
never-
idea.
The goddamn one where he goes, oh god, I forgot about the one where it's an homage to Legend. I think it's Space Captain Harlock.
Oh yeah, the
And
one where
he's-
he hates.
The Philly cheesesteaks.
What?
Philly cheesesteak wrapped in bacon, and some madman actually did this shit.
Yeah. I saw the YouTube video and I was like, I want to try that. It sounds fucking amazing. It sounds like I would instantly.
I could do that.
What is a Philly cheesesteak, you uncultured swine?
It is one of the greatest sandwiches conceived by humankind.
Is this a
Unfortunately,
sandwich?
yes. Unfortunately, it comes from Philly.
What is
Oh my
what was
god.
it?
Well, it's steak. You chop it up fine. A shitload of spices. Served on a hoagie that's toasted.
Its peppers and onions are sautéed with the meat.
Oh god, yes.
And what makes it a cheesesteak is the cheese.
Mm.
Which
Real
has
cheese or American cheese?
fuck American cheese. It's cheese, man. It's generally
It-
Swiss.
No, it's not. It's technically, in the loosest definition of this word, cheese.
No,
Technically.
I'm thinking traditional. Yeah. It is just melted cheese. Any melted cheese actually works.
Yes.
It's
And
just
the-
But mozzarella is preferable.
The hoagie is generally buttered on both sides before it's shoved on the grill.
Mm.
And it is a sandwich that is extremely good, extremely filling, and extremely bad for you.
Oh yeah. So good though.
Googled it. It's in a hot dog bun.
No,
I was
that is
imagining
a
it being in like a burger bun.
that is not a hot. That is a hoagie.
There's a difference.
There is
Oh,
a
what?
massive. It is about
It
the
looks
size.
like if you were to bite down on that, it would be hard to keep all the stuff in the sandwich. You'd have to like eat it from the edges.
I keep forgetting Shadow's
You-
British. He's retarded.
Right. So you don't use a fork and knife.
What? I didn't say that.
You don't use a fork and knife. You eat it with both of your hands. You're
Yeah,
generally.
that's what I mean. If you were to bite down on that, all that stuff's gonna be squeezed out of the sandwich.
Oh
Yeah.
hell no. No, you learn the press technique. You learn how to hold
Yeah.
that sandwich.
Yeah.
You also
We don't
learn
eat stuff like that with a knife and fork. We're not that bloody bad.
No, you eat shit like that. You learn how to properly grip that sandwich. There is a proper way of gripping that sandwich. And it is gripping. It is one of the greatest delicacies known to America. And you will feel sick afterwards if you've never ate one. Because the
That is
amount
a
of
thing. A
grease-
lot of British people, a lot of Europeans in general, they say when they go to the US, they feel ill the first few days to get used to the food. Because you just put
Oh.
so much crap in your food.
That and the bread is cake.
Yeah. Also,
Well-
people put on more weight when they go there. Like, I think
True.
V said he knew a woman that was basically really skinny her whole life. She moved to the US and within 2 months she gained like so much pounds. She was fat. Just American
Actually-
food is just...
American food is crap.
Traditional hoagie buns aren't fucking cake.
No, traditional actual baked bread is different than what we consume today.
Yeah, that's true. But like an actual hoagie bun's not actually cake. It's what makes it soft is the fact that you grill it. It's the amount of butter you grill into it. Put it this way: a Philly cheesesteak is meant to be greasy.
Well, one of the primary ingredients for cooking it is lard.
Or butter.
Lard or animal fat. Which I honestly need to get invested in more because it's way better than seed oils.
I actually don't use margarine. I use.
Wonder if you use Gruyere. Oh my god. Deep fry it, cover it in bacon. I could eat that. I could totally eat that. God, that looks so good.
You know, that's
Is
actually.
curry a big thing over there?
Fuck no. I've only had curry
Yeah,
once in my life.
I could live without curry. Curry
mean-
is the food.
You can buy the ingredients to make curry, but curry is not a huge thing. We have things like swamp stew.
Dare I even ask?
Wait a minute, I can sous vide.
You can make Philly cheesecake pasta. That actually looks more appealing than the sandwich, I'm not gonna lie.
You're wrong, and I can prove it mathematically.
Yeah, I tend to like meals with like either pasta or rice, so I like curry, chili, stuff like that.
Okay, let me see if I can find an actual picture of a real swamp stew. That looks. No, that's got pasta in it. Real swamp stew does not have pasta in it. That's fairly close. We'll use that one. We don't generally use a fritter in it. That's more of a hoity-toity thing. But this is swamp stew. Swamp stew is one of the greatest inventions ever made by Cajuns. It is literally
What is
college.
Cajun?
Well, Cajun's what happens when Spanish people, slaves that were released in the swamps from Barbados, and French people interbreed. In a very specific type of French person called Arcadians.
Arcadian.
Yeah, Arcadians.
They're not Arcadian. Listen, I know where they came from. They're Acadian. We had to deal with them, and we sent them down there, and now they're Cajun, and then they came back up here. They're Acadians, and they're, they have good food, and they speak French in a way that annoys the Quebecers. So really, I like the Acadians because they piss off Quebecers.
They are also generally what you see when you watch stuff like Swamp People. Those are Creoles and Cajuns.
I think my favorite subtype of Acadian, because there's subtypes of subtypes, because it goes French, and the subtype of French is Quebec, and then there's a subtype of Quebec called. No, 1 second, I'm being called.
Yeah, no. Fucking, Yeah, so swamp stew is basically a shit ton of vegetables, collard greens, sausage, and beans. You serve this over cornbread.
Shit, I gotta make more baked beans, speaking of.
It is a delicious thing, but I've never met a British person that can eat swamp stew.
Well, let's see what's in this.
Doesn't look very appealing, I'm not gonna lie.
It's cake.
That looks pretty good.
It's fucking shit's great, man.
So let's see
I
here.
see it's got kidney beans in it. I like those.
It has kidney beans in it. I think this one has turnips in it.
God, I love turnips.
It's all
I'm
the
gonna grow
vegetables
turnips
that are
next year.
putting me off.
What's wrong with turnips? Turnips are delicious, man.
You know another one that British people wouldn't understand?
Hmm?
Low Country Bowl.
Can you spell that?
Low Country Bowl.
Low Country Bull.
Boil.
Boil.
Yep.
Let's see here. Low Country Boil recipe. Southern Soul. Okay. Oh! Oh, yeah. Crawfish boils. Yes!
It's not a.
God,
It's
I
not
want to
this.
try someone.
This is all the ingredients in a Low Country Boil.
God, that
Are
looks so tasty.
are in Southern Low Country Bowl because we don't say boil, we say bowl.
Oh, it looks so good. Oh, God, I want to try it. I want crawfish so fucking bad. They look so good.
Well, it can be crawfish, it can be shrimp, it can also be lobster.
Yeah, but crawfish is way better.
It's corn. It
I
generally
wonder if I can get
has
crawfish. I want
it generally
crawfish.
has andouille sausage in it, which is one of my favorite types of sausage.
That looks so good.
It really just served like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what's even better than that?
Put that all on a plate, mash up the potatoes. Oh my God, that would be so good. Pour the butter over that and then just chew on the corn.
Do you want to know how it's cooked?
God,
It's all put in
I'm
one pot.
hungry.
It is all put in one pot with all the seasonings and spices.
I know, it's so good. I've seen crawfish boils and everything like that. I want to try it so bad.
It's one of the few things, like, when British people I've ever met one eat it, they say it's way too rich and spicy for them.
That's because contemporary British folk are raised on the most amount of spice being a bell pepper.
Yeah, that is more. Again, like my grandmother, obviously she grew up. She was born after the war, but she grew up in that like post-war generation where they had no spices and seasonings, and so she will only have like gravy on like meat and stuff. She won't have any
Well, in all fairness,
spice or
my
seasoning.
cousins are the exact same thing. They think an exotic spice is ketchup.
Speaking
Yeah.
of speaking of things that are basically a gravy, gumbo.
Another southern food I want to try so fucking bad.
I've also only ever heard British people complain about gumbo.
Do we have to end the podcast at some point?
I'm talking about food, man. I'm talking about
This is
great
also
food.
true.
Talking about great food. Gumbo.
Speaking of great food, I've got
Everyone in chat
another.
probably whispering to each other like, "Do they know they're still live?"
I don't fucking know.
They
I got
know this
another
shit.
3 hours until my cheesecake is completely ready to be tested. I am desperate to try it because a banana cream cheesecake will be fucking delicious.
Yeah, they are. But gumbo.
In
Gumbo.
Britain, we will put curry sauce on anything. Like fish and chips, pour curry sauce over it. You can get chicken tikka sandwiches. You know, it's
The first
curry flavored
experience,
ramen.
one of the first experiences I had with British culture was Red Dwarf.
Okay,
That's a
Shadow.
good.
Shadow, you're talking about curry sauce, right?
Yes.
One of the many important ingredients to a good Cajun dish is Louisiana red peppers, which is a very spicy form of red pepper. Also,
Yeah, it's one of the ones that they compete with going, hey, listen there, Jimbo, my thing can strip the paint off of your boat faster.
If you end the podcast, the universe resets and the dream ends.
What?
In other words, Adam's like, food. These guys are talking about real nerd culture. Food. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fucking, I can't eat seafood because I'm allergic to seafood. But
Meanwhile, me living on the coast.
I have EpiPenned myself for some really good gumbo before. I am not going to fucking lie about that shit.
Jackie over
Quite
here like
fortunate
fucking
to have
Pam
no
from Archer.
allergies at all.
Listen, I know I'm deathly allergic, but I've got an EpiPen.
Yeah,
An
no,
EpiPen Okay, fun fact. Do you know what's in an EpiPen?
epinephrine.
Yes, epinephrine, which is just artificial adrenaline. All it is to keep you alive until the paramedics can get there. It's not a fix-all.
You literally just like
You're
go
talking
to
about
like you're eating the food and your body starts to have like a reaction. Oh, stop
You shouldn't
eating,
be
and you just
eating
like
that. That's
die.
all that's all not artificial. That's all seafood. I don't care.
Jackie's just sat there like visibly dying,
Swelling.
like wolfing down his food. Like this is what it means.
Turning
to
red with
forever
hives.
beyond.
Stop that.
no. You can ask Worf about it because we went out and got sushi, and I was eating sushi, and I got really sick.
I want sushi. I want sashimi. I want to try sashimi.
But I have had some really fucking good gumbo. It's an amazing, amazing thing. And it is basically the consistency of gravy and it's served with rice. And it is meant to be spicy. If you're eating Cajun food and your nose is not running, you're not eating Cajun food.
I can't handle spicy food. I have mild curries.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I
Can't
love.
enjoy something that's actively hurting me.
Well, see, that's what I love when I hear people talking about like American culture and they go, McDonald's. Fucker, I didn't grow up eating at McDonald's. You know what I ate? I ate whatever I could hunt. And occasionally, when we went down to the coast, I ate whatever we could catch out of the water. Because we would do shit like this.
What's really funny is my mom got tired of the whole, you're supposed to have this on this day. And she just goes, whatever, I'm going to, whenever we feel like cooking, I'm going to learn how to cook. And that's the style of cooking I inherited. I just learned how to make anything that I want.
No, I
Need a
learned
recipe,
how,
look it up, figure it out.
I learned how to cook from my grandmother who lived during the Great Depression. That's why I know American staples like corned beef hash gravy, chip beef, sloppy joes. I know that kind of shit. But I
Sloppy
expanded
Joes are awesome.
Fuck yeah,
You
especially if
have
you
a
do it right.
meal called Sloppy Joe's.
You've never had a Sloppy Joe?
Yeah.
No, I have never had a Sloppy Joe.
Alright, we're going to need to import you immediately.
Sounds like a sex act.
No, how dare you?
No, it is a sloppy joe.
Sounds like something I'd ask for in an
This
alley.
is a Sloppy Joe. Behold the Sloppy Joe. A conglomeration of hamburger meat
literally
and
just like
spices.
bolognese in a bun.
No, it's not bolognese.
Yeah, no.
How dare you? That's not a bolognese.
Like
That
minced
is-
meat and sauce.
Also, what you call bolognese would be called just hamburger gravy.
Pretty much. Or,
But you have weird names for things that over here are like not weirdly named. Like when I was in New Hampshire a few months ago.
Bolognese is Italian.
Do you want to order an Alfredo? I'm like, what the fuck is an Alfredo? It turns out it's just cheesy pasta.
yeah,
Yeah,
Alfredo.
that's, again, Italian.
That's Italian. The thing about sloppy joes is sloppy joes was a way to conserve hamburger meat during rations.
Yeah.
And
You can
they're
take
amazing.
take half a pound of hamburger meat, one bell pepper, one onion. And one onion can be anywhere between medium, small, or large. Then one garlic or one clove of garlic or two, depending on how spicy you want it. Cayenne pepper, a little bit of cinnamon because cinnamon and round hamburger quite good actually.
On that note, I must be going.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
Good night.
yeah, no. I love it when people talk about American food being bad. I'll be honest with you, because they've never tried
It's the
British
same thing.
food.
That's the same case with British food. Americans joke about it, but they've never been here. They don't know.
I've tried British food.
Yeah, I've had a kebab.
I've had a kebab. I've had a shawarma.
Traditional, authentic British food.
Well,
It's
yeah, I
great. I
went
even
to
got
that.
stabbed afterwards. It was the authentic British experience.
It was a British kebab shop. The owner had a London name, like Mohammed or something.
Yeah, it was Ahmed Behul Jabbar Allah Habam.
He told me he was from Swivesport.
Yep.
His name was just a series of static radio noises or something like
Static radio noises and phlegm.
But yeah, no, like American food is generally meant to be filling because traditional Americans were all workers.
Yeah.
So like sloppy joes and shit like that stick or do what we call sticking to your ribs. Or
Oh
keep
yes,
you
it'll stick to your ribs.
that means it'll keep you full for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like traditional when I see people talk about like a British breakfast and they're like, look at how big a British you've never seen a traditional southern breakfast.
I think the full English breakfast, it's beans. Sometimes you have it with toast, fried eggs, sausages, bacon, hash browns, fried mushroom, tomato, like a mashed fried tomato.
I want to try swamp soup. This looks good.
It is good. So a traditional southern breakfast: fried green tomatoes, fried squash, biscuits and gravy, cornbread, fried eggs, bacon, sausage.
A bit different here in Canada because it depends on where you're from.
Mhm. But I said
Let's
southern
see.
for a reason. And there's
Oh,
even
that's
more to
fair.
that. There's even more to that. Like you're served milk, orange juice, and water.
Coffee coffee, oat or water here. Let's see. In rural Canada, it's usually flapjacks, toast, whatever. Then there's your regional things. If you're in Toronto, it's semen.
Well, I see. I wasn't including the side plates. You know, like your grits, your fucking pancakes, or waffles, depending on what part of the South you're from.
I'll be honest, I've been finding that oatmeal makes a really good breakfast. It's easy on the
Uh,
stomach.
Oatmeal is also generally served. Like a traditional Southern breakfast is meant to feed you for a long day of farm work. Because you eat a lot in the breakfast time, you let it settle for an hour, then you go out and do farm work.
Well, I
Once
mean,
you're
have you heard the Canadian lumberjack breakfast?
as much eggs and bacon as you can eat.
Let's see here. Canadian lumberjack breakfast. What does a typical breakfast in Canada look like? Usually
Darling.
4 pancakes, 5 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of or two eggs,
Oh yeah,
hash
no.
browns, toast,
Mm-hmm.
coffee.
This is a Scottish thing I learned about recently because Count Dankula mentioned it. I'm going
Mhm.
to put these in on air text. It's called a munch box. And it's something the Scottish government's trying to ban because of how
I like the
terrible it is.
lunchbox.
Basically, it's a huge box of just every kind of fast food you can imagine in it. I'm going to post some pictures.
I like the lunchbox. Go on.
This one's very set up and presented. They don't typically look as nice as that. They typically look. There's a good image here.
I'm not gonna fucking lie. When I got the munchies, I would crush the fuck out of that.
Yeah, like, dude.
This is a meal for one person.
Yeah,
They know me so fucking well.
dude.
They fill it with. They'll go to like. I think it's. Open the image in a new. Oh, for Christ's sake. I hate how Google now has got all this bloody shit on it to stop you from copying images. They'll go to like multiple fast food places and just get everything.
You ever seen those competitive eaters that just go to like all these things that only a few people have done at some restaurants, and it's just retarded? Like they just welcome to the quote unquote miracles of the modern era. Go back 300 years and go, yeah. So we have people that have nothing to do but go around and eat food, and then look at you like you're fucking mental.
Have you ever heard of something called a junkyard dog, Shadow?
Nope.
It is the greatest invention of all of America, and it's extremely hard to find on Google for some reason.
Well, because junkyard dog usually refers to a dog that guards a junkyard.
So, a traditional American junkyard dog. That's close.
God damn it, Shadow! Now I'm hungry.
This is for one person, remember? And the Scottish government's trying to crack down on this and put a stop to it.
Shadow, I don't think you comprehend how much I can just absolutely clear an entire plate when I have the munchies.
Right. So
Like,
this is close.
that might be minimal.
So a traditional
That's too much.
A traditional American junkyard dog is a foot long of Polish sausage with chili, cheese, peppers, onions, sweet relish, horse relish, because there's a difference, sauerkraut. Basically, you put every fucking
Wait,
topping.
horseradish. They made relish out of horseradish?
Yeah, that's it. Horseradish. That's it.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah.
Horseradish. They put horseradish on there. Christ.
It's anything you can put on a hot dog. I'll put on a hot dog. And it is one of the few hot dogs that is okay to eat with a knife and fork.
No. Just no. Just give me a chili cheese dog.
Oh, I prefer chili. Actually, I prefer what they call a fully loaded dog, which is onions, cheese, of course, chili.
I am
peppers.
vanilla as fuck. Give me a hot dog give me a hot dog with ketchup and mustard, and I will be a happy man.
Oh yeah, no, hot dog's fine. Although I actually prefer a Polish sausage dog or a brat dog. I like my sausage. Okay. I like sausage.
My dog is demanding attention for something.
Well, it's because we've been talking about food for like an hour now.
I have
We've
to
been-
go.
We've been punishing the British with actual food. He's gained weight.
I
He's
have to go
he,
to bed.
he's
The
been
worst
gaining
thing.
weight this whole time.
My cheesecake has been cooling for about 2 hours now, but it's been sub-zero temperatures instead of
I actually managed to
thermometer.
move to the US. I probably put on weight for the first time in my life.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, if you ever come to the U.S., we're going to stuff you full of Chicago-style pizza.
I can make a Chicago style. I should make a Chicago style pizza. I have pizza. I want pizza. I'm gonna go eat pizza.
Anyways, we're
Do
going to
that,
end the
and I'm gonna go to
podcast because we've been torturing
Awesome,
Shadow
yeah.
with good food for an hour. So, bye, guys.
Adios.
Good night. Sleep
Good night.
tight. The weasels are your eyeballs.
Bye.